We're in that last month before the NFL season begins, so it's time to get our best ball teams in hard and fast. Today, I'm going to try to build the most optimal teams possible using my best ball champion tool, an Underdog on DraftKings. We're going to do two kinds of drafts today. I got to do the Chiron too as well. Of course, I'm all in a draft room here. We are drafting today on Underdog first from the 7th spot. Of course, the best ball champion here is its dramatic introduction here. But let's get into it here. Let's see what we get on stream today. Shout out to all you guys watching live. Shout out to all you guys who watch after the fact. Try to really go simple thumbnail mode today. But we're going to be drafted again. BBM, DK Milly, $5 million combined between first place in both those tournaments. And I fully intend to take it down. While these guys draft here, real fast, quick look at my portfolio here. Again, everything being built with my best ball champion tool for me this year. And I feel like things are coming along really well on BBM DB. I know some people out there will critique it. I'm not like victory lapping the fake money that I've won here. The fact that in the Sims grading out with about an extra $1,200 in EV for my 262 drafts done so far, feel like things are grading out pretty well. I expected to advance 21 more teams than you would get normally in my spot. So again, this is what I was hoping for by building this tool, was to give myself the best way to get a lot of entries in without a lot of thought, and hopefully some good EV on it. That's what we're getting, hopefully, so far. We're picking in the 7th spot. McCaffrey already went. We will go to JSN. Lately, been happy to take McCaffrey over JSN. I feel like the tide here, you can see with the little spark line is what that's called. Basically, the way that ADP is moved. JSN on the way down for the most part, started back in the pre-draft period with a 5 ADP, now down to 5.5, which does kind of matter. McCaffrey, you can see his ADP movement, 7 back in the pre-NFL draft period, up to 6.1. I think over this last month, it wouldn't shock me to see McCaffrey catch JSN, if not pass him up. So to me, getting McCaffrey now in that 6th spot, I think feels a little bit better as well. Build-wise, too, getting the RB, it feels a little bit better. Shout out to you guys watching live. We got Braden here. We got Mind of a Kid, GMs. Our guy Nolan OMG here. Glad to see him as well. But we are drafting, guys. We're going to draft. Might get 4 in today. I don't know. But the goal is at least that 1 in Underdog, 1 in DraftKings. I did promise our friend Robert from the turd last week I'd give him a DK Milly draft, so you will get one here. And of course, the Best Ball Champion tool works well on both sites. But again, honestly, like really surprised that the tool is working as well as it is. I will actually, let me see if I can find this draft. I want to show you guys something here, and it's not a victory lapping thing again, but ended up in a draft with a luminary of another site not that long ago, because I've been cramming BBMs in lately. Let's see, is it this one? Again, my pick's going to come up soon, but I'm trying to find you guys. It says 7 picks away here, but it's actually 2, which is not helpful at all. All right, let's make the pick first before I start doing silly bits here. Sim it out. RB corner here. We also can see combinatorial ownership with the Best Ball Champion. I've been trying to get more of the combos. I don't have a lot of. So with JSN, I have 12% with Chase Brown, 12% with Devon Achane. Chase Brown seems like he's on the move up right now. And he is the top sim guy here as well. So we'll go Chase Brown. Get the pick button here. 1-click movement to get the player in. Works really fast, which is my ideal. But Chase Brown apparently getting used a lot, according to beat reports from guys at the, obviously, training camps going off everywhere right now. But Chase Brown getting used in the way that Jamar Chase was used somewhat last year, moving around from the RB position to the slot sometimes. That bodes well. And we see that happen a lot every year where it's like, oh, yeah, like this RB is going to play out of the slot more. And it never happens. Like Tony Pollard, that was the thing for like 5 straight years. It was like, oh, man, he's going to be playing out of the slot so much. And he doesn't. But, for Chase Brown, the fact they have used him as a passer, the fact that, every year the Bengals high pass rate team does feel like it could be a situation where Chase Brown actually does get that work in a way that guys don't. By taking Sadiq, I've not taken Sadiq before the injury. So if he's cheap enough, happy to take him on the way down. But he wasn't a great target earner in college. Do you think the draft capital looks good? But guys who are not great, in every category coming from college into the pros, I am less into taking lots of. I don't think the price tag works perfectly. Started guy Emo Cowboys, watching a little bit of their Toxic Tower stream last night with the boys. And I feel like everybody's getting jobs off of that. So you think it's out stuff, though I'm not trying to rub it into Emo Cowboys face. But shout out to PPR Tyler. Was glad to see him. I think he's working with RotoWire now. I think there's some other stuff these guys are working on behind the scenes that is good for them. But I always love seeing the guys working hard, getting results from it. And Emo Cowboy, one of those guys on the Toxic Tower streams. I'm sure more of you guys are watching at this point. And people are watching me, which I'm okay with. There's trade-offs here. Do MLB DFS, something I had to give. Let's sim it out. I think Trey McBride is where my brain's going here. Taking the RB, though, after we've taken receiver in round 1 would make sense. Let me see here real fast. All right. I don't have any McBride with these guys. I am going to go McBride here. The sim is saying to go RB. I do have the ability of free will, even though the sim is telling me one thing, I could do something different here. And I do think this balanced build, getting the elite tight end in, will give us room to get in more RBs in that range where I would normally want to get one, if not two tight ends. So we'll go with the Chase Brown, JSN, Trey McBride start, and we will go right here back to that big board view. Well, I try to find this draft so I could dunk on somebody that doesn't deserve to be dunked on, but I like to dunk. This boy likes to dunk. Let me see. Fuck. Go through every fucking draft I have here on the back end. I legit have jammed in, I think, like 20 to 25 BBMs this week, so I'm thriving right now. All right. Let's see. Fucking A. It was a draft with sacrilegious, by the way. BBM DB does not like sidekick drafts, is what I learned. Drafted like 3 in a row with sacrilegious as I was jamming my own in. And it was giving him like D's left and right. And not D's nuts either. Was giving him D grades over and over again. And I was really kind of questioning the teams too. I don't really question those guys very much because I think they're all really awesome at gambling on that site. But I talked about it a little bit on the Toxic Tower stream. I think I mentioned it too on my stream last week. I feel like when you have a sim right now, like not listening to rankings too much in a sim, I just don't think is the move. But that's my opinion, obviously, as somebody that made a sim, so I have to think less. Living the dream here. Non-thought. All right, we got 1 RB, 1 receiver, 1 tight end. Josh Allen now coming up here. I am not a balanced build guy. I think ATN would be the pick I feel more comfortable with here. And I'm going to go that way. It does seem like the BBC, my best ball champion sim here, more open-minded to Josh Allen these days. And he's falling ADP-wise to the 40-plus in a room enough. That's probably part of why. I'm not crazy about Josh Allen still. Like, I think builds look better without the elite QB. I think when you have James Cook, maybe there's a little more of a fun logic there where when one hits, they could ping pong back and forth, especially in the playoff weeks. But I'm not crazy about Josh Allen. So we got Chase Brown, Travis Etienne with JSN, Trey McBride. We got Mind of a Kid saying Trey McBride in the third feels nice. I agree. I mean, I like Brock Bowers too, but like Brock Bowers is just expensive, man. It does feel like a stiff price tag. D sounds about right. Can't wait for the season to bear it out. We'll see. I mean, look, I'm very excited about my product, and I'm sure they're excited about theirs too. And I'm sure anybody else that made one this offseason is excited about theirs. But, ultimately, I think if you have signal from an independent third-party tool that's going, maybe you're not doing a good job, I think you want to look at that more. I'm also still checking drafts in the back end, guys. Oh, here's one. You're real fast. Drafted against Al Smizzle in this one, and I kicked his ass with my 30% expected advance rate as opposed to his 26.4. Yeah, lots of luminaries and BBMs lately. All right, back to the draft board view here. I'm gonna find this fucking draft, guys, and we're all gonna laugh. And Sacrilegious might get mad at me. I feel like he's going to war a lot with people lately. For things I've seen. This one, fucking crazy EV down here, by the way. $125 in EV for this team. Drake May, Jackson Dart, Jordan Love, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Gainwell, and Mike Washington. My sim loves Mike Washington. A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Jaden Reed, Flournoy, and Mooney. Mooney, not a guy I take very often. Ferguson, Gatson, Hawkinson, Schultz. That team doesn't feel like it should have that much EV, but there we go. We're on the clock here, guys. The BBC works fast, so I can jump around here. Judkins, a guy I am trying to get more of. Bucky Irving, I feel like getting good practice reports. He is your lead back for Tampa Bay, which I think was a real risk for him. Who do I have the least of? Oops. I'm going to go Judkins here. Trying to get a little bit more Judkins. Do think that I don't want to be blind to him, and Todd Monken coming in really might shift this entire offense in a way that makes me want to make sure I have some Judkins. Like Samson, too, coming late. He's basically free, and I think there's a chance where he could be the lead back, or at the very least, the guy where certain game scripts get him out there more. But Judkins was good last year. I really wasn't impressed with his numbers coming out of OSU. Like the avoided tackle rate, nothing special. He was a plus CPA guy, though, so that does tend to hold. But I want to get Judkins. I don't want to be under on him by too much. Really, part of my process this year is just there's guys I'm going to be over on. Jaden I'll be high on. Mike Washington I'll be high on. It's kind of random. The guys I'll be high on. Tight ends in the range of Fannin, Pitts, that area, Laporta, I'll be high on. But I don't want to be low on guys that I think are good enough and as good as other RBs in that range. And Judkins showed real ceiling last year. Took a monster rip in my honor. Thanks, Prano Joey. Hopefully that's slowing things down for you. I appreciate that a bunch. And Sack, very humble Cabal member, of course. I mean, look, he's not humble, but he's also very good at what he does. So I get it. Like I try to stay humble too, but I think when I know I'm, talking to somebody who's not putting in the work and not, there all the way, in terms of how they're viewing stuff, I can come off as less than humble as well. I really can't believe I've drafted this many teams that I cannot find the one I'm looking for here. I need to get to 150. So I think what I'm going to end up doing looks unlikely I'm going to be able to max out DK unless I do a bunch of slow drafts. But I think I'm going to get like 50 into DK, 150 in Underdog, into BBM. And that's sort of where I am at now in terms of my life goals, my pathetic life goals. All right, we got a 0-3-1-1 build here. Feel like a receiver would be the move, but QB coming up with Jalen Hurts here, the running QB. This is a tremendous discount on Henderson. We're not all the way there at RB yet. I'm going to take Travion Henderson and hope I can just figure this out. He was not coming up with a high sim win rate here. And look, I do believe listen to the tools when you can. That said, unless Travion Henderson died in the period of me doing an MLB stream to now, I don't think I want to be low on him when he's going at pick 66. So we're a little bit heavy at RB now. 4 RBs on our first 6 picks is too much for me normally. But we got Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson. JSN is our first round receiver, so he's got to carry a lot of water anyway if we're taking him there. So I can live with that. We got elite tight end. So I think if there's ever a time where you could take 4 RBs like I did here, this is it. Can't imagine it's going to grade out super well on BBMDB, but I think sometimes we're going to be a little RB piggy. And frankly, you know what? Been a while since we played this GIF. Oh, I can't imagine a world. I can't imagine a world without running backs. So now I got to snarf them up left and right. But Travion Henderson at 66. What am I going to do, man? What is this shit? What am I, in an old school splash play or ship chasing or any streamer from COVID times room? I don't know. These guys are all taking receiver. This guy taking 6 receivers in a row here. What is he doing? No, it's not my fault. It's not my problem. My jamming Hall of Fame DFS? No. Baseball's taking my money this summer. Baseball, both literally and figuratively. But no, like my bankroll's been going MLB. And MLB has not been a runaway success because it is the most difficult DFS sport, as I have learned time and time again. But we're getting there. But yeah, that's my thing for the summer. That's my money. I don't need to waste money on preseason NFL. I strongly feel that way. We got a pick coming up here. Really wish Underdog, they're making so many improvements. Wish that you could see how many picks away you are on the draft board screen. We'll send this out here. I mean, I know what the sim would want me to take now because it's wanted it for a while. This is honestly a pretty big discount on Jalen Hurts. We are absorbing a lot of value here. I think this team might grade out well just because we are taking in crazy value. Jalen Hurts at pick 79, 4 RBs, Chase Brown, discount, Travis Etienne, a little bit of a discount, though he's certainly falling more lately with Alvin Kamara involved. Quinshon Judkins, a little discount. Travion Henderson, massive discount going to pick 66. He's got a 54 ADP. JSN, we got a pick 7. He normally goes pick 6. Trey McBride, we got a pick 31. He normally goes pick 29. I think the team's unique just from that little bit of ADP value, which is one of those easy ways to, pick up value that people forget. All right, let's go to the big board view here. Let's do this. Share this tab instead. And I'm going to keep looking for the sacrilegious draft at the same time. And eventually I'm going to find it. I'm pretty confident. I feel like I'm probably just clicking the same ones over. Oh, here's one. Here's one that's not sacrilegious. Neil Orfield. What the fuck are we doing, Neil? Player Q, F grade on BBMDB. Meanwhile, here's Chris Spags, 38% expected advance rate. A Singy 111 dominating here, 48%. I don't know who he is, but watch his streams. But player Q, I think also uses the sidekick. So I don't know what we're doing here, sidekick. I like the sidekick guys a lot. Like I think that team over there, I've loved Kareem for years as a human being and somebody as a great content creator. I will laugh really hard if the best ball champion like just roughs up the sidekick and advance rate and wins this year. Like those guys, I'm sure will rebound and kick my ass next year if that were the case. But signal's still signal, guys. We're going to take Cortland Sutton here because we are so behind at receiver, but there's too much RB value. And now we are done at RB. And as Mr. Mufasa points out, OG in the best ball space here, been in my channels for a while. There's going to be plenty of wide receiver value to gobble up. So that's what I'm hoping here is that we can gobble away here after being a pure piggy mode at RB. But the team right now, we got Jalen Hurts, Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, JSN, Cortland Sutton, and then Trey McBride. So we're going to hit receiver hard. Are those receivers going to be good? I don't feel the most confident in that, but, we're going to hit it hard. Guys, if you can, show some love. Again, I'm going to try to resuscitate the NFL channel where come NFL DFS season, we'll be all good. But right now, I've not done enough best ball streams this offseason. Could really use your support. Hit that like button and subscribe. It goes a long way for any content you enjoy on YouTube, but especially me, just one guy doing the work as best I can, which has been a lot more time towards MLB DFS here, a lot more time towards NBA DFS. Right now on the back end, I'm setting up NFL DFS for you guys this year. Going to be really excited to show you guys how that product looks for Splashlight Podcast for NFL on stream. But join along for the ride here, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I promise, no matter when I'm showing up here, I'll do the work as best I can for you guys. And also, my presenting sponsor here, our friends over at Snap Stats. Check them out. It's the first AI company dedicated to sports betting and fantasy. I know a lot of you guys out there, maybe AI are reluctant, but using AI as a tool in your toolkit, I think a really important part of the process. Everything that I run at SplashlightPodcast.com is built with AI, but it's me. You're really aggressively policing the AI, back-checking stuff, back-testing stuff, making sure it works, making sure the tool isn't hallucinating. That's what you should be doing, but use Snap. They're a great company on the rise, funded by Andreessen Horowitz too, so they're going to be around for a while, hopefully getting better, improving along the way as well, as we all hope our products are. Check it out, $10. Splash Play is a promo code to use at trysnap.ai. That's TRYSNAPP.ai, but they're helping me put on the shows here. Hopefully all NFL season, but we'll see. I got to keep everybody happy here. All right, we got a pick coming up. Let's run this little sim. Wants me to take Xavier Worthy. Of course, I am behind at receiver, so I do get that. Second QB, trying to be done there, might be logical as well. But I'll take Xavier Worthy. A little bit of a discount lately because he got banged up in practice, had a shoulder injury, and got carted off. People then conflated those things and then got spooked more than they probably should. He's seemingly fine. I don't know if he might actually be already back out there, but I'm not sure if he is. If he's not, though, not too worried about it. Jalen McMillan, same thing. Saw some people like victory lapping him. Being banged up, but Jalen McMillan was already working on the sideline in shorts, apparently had a helmet to his knee or something. He'll be okay. People freaking out over injuries. Certainly, Josh Jacobs, soft tissue injury on the groin. That's not a great thing for him right now, but, it's early enough. Same thing for Kai Lemon, Devontae Smith, other guys with hamstring injuries. You don't want the soft tissue stuff. I think those freak me out more after having enough players drafted in recent years or that lingers. But, certainly follow your hearts as the guys do fall ADP-wise. People overreacting or appropriately reacting, perhaps, to training camp news. Want the NFL product up my back end the season. Thank you for that. I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited about it. But human in the loop, Claude is a moron sometimes. I mean, look, I think when you use Fable 5 on Hypercode, I think you get the best results you can. But certainly, for people out there, Ultra Code, I think is what it actually is. But yeah, make sure you're double checking stuff always. That's what I'd recommend. At some point, I would like to do a video just like on how I use Claude, so I could try to talk intelligently about that in case it, the chance it helps somebody out there. But I also don't want you guys to compete with me, that's the trade-off. I already give away enough EV, don't I? All right, we got a 1-4-3-1 here. Matthew Stafford coming up does want me to get an QB in, even though we are, we're behind on QB, but we really need receiver here, and I am going to go Wan'Dale Robinson. I just don't like punting receiver too far down. Again, we take JSN. We're assuming he's going to put up a lot of points here. We're taking him with that 7th overall pick, 6th overall pick, 5th overall pick, wherever you're going to get him. But I think at this point, I can get more QBs. I can make it up with volume, if not quality. And frankly, Jalen Hurts, he's got to carry him out a lot of water at QB for this particular team. So right now we got Jalen Hurts, Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson. Not the normal team I would build here. Again, really want to clarify that because I did put on the title optimal teams. I could show you ones. We'll build some, I think, that'll look more like that over the course of the stream. This one, though, is just soaking up value, which is in its own way what I think the optimal approach is. At receiver, we got JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Tight end, Trey McBride. I like it. I mean, I like where we're going here. Definitely need to get a little more in at QB. Still want to make up a little bit more at receiver, but I think we're getting to where we need to go in terms of the draft capital buckets. All right. And I am still going to find this sacrilegious team come hell or high water. Here's one. I got downgraded in this one, unfortunately. But this one, I still beat out sack by a little bit. I now have a 12.5% advance rate, so that's not good. But sack at 8.2 and a D grade, that is worse. So your ad today for the BBC is that your team will be slightly worse if you use the sidekick. And then this one here, also I got downgraded to a C. It was an A before. BBMDB does upgrade their data or update their data, I think, pretty regularly. But I got a 15% advance rate here. Sacrilegious at 5.5. I just don't know what he's building. Really, it wasn't more to dunk on like my team is so good, his sucks. more that I don't really get what they're building with those teams. I feel like that's kind of surprisingly low for me, but yeah. They can't all be winners. You can see on that screen, I have a bunch that grade out as a C on BBMDB as well. So you just want to have enough to me. You want to have some A grades, some S grades, some ones that look like outliers along the, along the way alongside that. It is recommending Tyler Shuck here. We do have some correlation with Travis Etienne, though it does seem like so far mostly Kamara getting the pass game work, Etienne getting the run game work. But I think that's fine too, because then we're sort of capturing different game scripts for New Orleans here. So we'll take Tyler Shuck as our QB2 here. Jalen Hurts and Tyler Shuck. Another thing too is like, obviously we would all love to have perfect stacking and correlation, whatever. Stacking up with your wide receiver 1 would be awesome to do that. But for the most part, you just want to get QB in when you need those projection points and other positions are covered enough. That's why we take Tyler Shuck there no matter what. So Jalen Hurts and Tyler Shuck with Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson. I don't foresee taking a 5th RB here. We have JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson. Not a lot of draft capital here, I feel like, with only JSN in the first round, everybody else coming pick 90 or later. We got decent value on Sutton, a little bit on Worthy, a little bit on Wan'Dale, and Trey McBride, a little bit on him too. I think this team can still work. I think we're doing what we're supposed to. We soaked up value, built a coherent team around it, which I think that's, again, the real optimal here. I'm going to say the word optimal enough because I feel like I'm ripping you off with this. It's not an optimal style draft for me normally, but it is what it is. IBBC, we're on 155 plus at RB, but green everywhere else still seems fine in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I think if you're putting a little bit too much draft capital, but you're still good in the other columns, it's fine. But ultimately, it is something like you look at this here, a little bit of an OCD itch gets scratched when it's all green, I think, for each category. We'll go back to the draft board here. We got a pick coming up in 4. Okay, we'll be doing DK next. So if you've been dying to get a DK drafted with me, I didn't put all my money in MLB today. I did leave a little bit in there. I did do some best ball today on DK. But I really got to start jamming DK hard if I'm going to get to, I guess it's still possible I get to 150, right? If I were really gamble-holic mode over the next few weeks. We have a family vacation though at the end of the month, which is going to make it either tougher or easier to get more drafts in. Be there with my laptop on family vacation like an asshole. Bringing great shame. But I got to get that EV, man. All right. Pick coming up. Frankly, be happy to take Malik Willis here. Stribling coming up on top of the sim, week 17 correlation with Jalen Hurts. I've not been getting a lot of stribling on the way up lately. Feel like he's been out of my ADP grasp. So I'm willing to go stribling here. Omar Cooper getting good work in Jets camp. A lot of low ADOT targets going his way. It's either going to the tight ends or him was one of the beat reports. So I think for, getting a little more stribling, I'm fine with that, even though Omar Cooper still, to me, has not gotten less valuable. I feel like 2 guys actually have a good amount of Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston. Very good early usage for them in camp. A little bit of me bag defending, I think, but I think they feel okay. All right, our team so far here, again, while we wait for the clock to go around again, we got Jalen Hurts, Tyler Shuck, we got Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson. Massive discount on Henderson, which I love to get. JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, DeJon Stribling, and then Trey McBride, our elite tight end. We'll add one more at some point, but draft capital-wise, take that elite tight end. You really don't have to worry about that for a while, even if the sim does go, hey, take a tight end here. You just don't have to. All right, back to the big board view here. Also want to get Diggs. I mentioned in the Discord when he signed with Washington. I think top 100 is about right. In this room, where did he go? Pick 107. Honestly, a little bit lighter than I would have thought. You could tell me he goes ahead of Worthy. Obviously, I took Worthy ahead of him here, but I don't think that'd be bad. I think Washington's going to be a real bounce-back team. I think part of the reason they signed Diggs, too, is not necessarily an indoctrination of the rest of the receiver room, though. Certainly it could be. I think it's more of a reflection that they think they can win this year. They like the way the offense is looking, and getting one more legit weapon out there, might be the difference between winning a few games that you would lose otherwise. It's not great for Antonio Williams. I think he's a guy I was curious to see what they do, because much like Omar Cooper, good low ADOT guy, I think can do some special stuff after the catch. But, I think they could still use him that way. And then Diggs now is another, sacrificial X at times, / they could put him in the slot. A lot of ways to use him. All right, Travis Hunter, Jalen McMillan hanging around here. I do like both those guys. It wants me to get the correlation with my RB Travion Henderson. Take Hunter Henry here. I like Jalen McMillan, but let's see. Let's see where he goes here. like I've got a good amount of Jalen McMillan at 12.9%. Hunter Henry, happy to get him as my tight end with Trey McBride. Maybe don't take a third here. Could take a third as a luxury. But Hunter Henry, happy to get him here. Let's go back to the big board view. I think receiver would be nice, but hopefully they'll get a decent receiver back. And if not, is what it is. But I like the spot for Diggs. I do think Diggs landed in a good situation. And I think, too, it's one where, like McLaurin, they've talked about David Blau. One of the first things he said when he got the job is he considers the job to be to get Terry McLaurin 10 targets a game. With the money, McLaurin's going to get his targets. Like, he's getting paid more than 3x Diggs, because Diggs can earn up to 12 million. That means the base is probably like 7, something like that, be my guess. Probably got Debo as a base. So McLaurin earning 3x more, like, he's going to be priority number 1. So he shouldn't like Diggs shouldn't move up that much, but your number 2 receiver for Jaden Daniels, I think, is big. And there's a lot of reports too that basically throughout camp, before they signed Diggs, Chig's been functioning as a number 2 receiver, basically. Like, that has to get a little bit better, I think. All right, we got pick coming up here. Juwan Jennings falling a little bit ADP wise. I really do think he's a nice pickup. For Jordan Addison, players banged up right now, which I like Addison a lot. He's a guy that's worked all offseason with Kyler Murray, has apparently traveled to work out with him the entire offseason, whereas Justin Jefferson is not. But I think for Juwan Jennings, he'll be out there as a run blocker a lot. The team would still like to run a good amount. And Jennings is just so good at that. And that keeps him on the field. And then obviously you're out there for play action. Kind of get the tight end thesis for Juwan Jennings here. Pick 162. So team so far, we have a 2-4-6-2. We have Jalen Hurts that, according to BBC, of course, the Best Ball Champion simulation tool you can see here, my product at splashplaypodcast.com or bestballchampion.com if you prefer to go to that URL and get redirected. A little bit light on QB still. We're over draft capital at RB with the 4 we took in the top 66 picks. Wide receiver, we're good at 166 points. Tight end, we're good and probably shouldn't take another one unless we, just have a lot of flexibility later on. So frankly, if we get one more QB, great. If not, might be just a bunch more receivers down the home stretch. Let's see this big board view. Oops, not stop sharing. That's the exact wrong button here. There we go. We're back. Rip the drafts on mobile. The draft capital bucket should be drilled in my brain. They are, but I like there's something to the comfort of, like, I click the sim button. Sometimes I'll click the sim button twice just to, really feel secure. You get weird little habits with it, especially when I built this thing. I'm really proud of the little tool that I built. I feel like I've created a little engine that's hopefully going to pull at least a few of us up the mountain this year. But it's going to be funny because, if the BBC is a very good tool, it's going to be less than 50 people that have probably used it enough to gain something out of it. And those 50 people are probably really happy with what they got out of it. And everybody else will go, why? Why didn't I? And I'll look down from the mountaintops, spit on them. All right, we got a pick coming up here. Jerry Jeudy's recommendation. Antonio Williams falling a lot. His projections fallen as well. Kind of want to get more Dontavian Wicks at this point. I'm actually going to do that here. It's telling me receiver, but it doesn't have to be the specific receiver. But I feel like a little more Wicks. Jerry Jeudy, frankly, might be around the next pick anyway because nobody wants to take Jerry Jeudy. And reports already are for Cleveland that he's might already be wide receiver 3 in that team with Denzel Boston looking good, with Concepcion, high draft capital, and looking pretty good so far. So Judy's days, I don't know. He frankly could be a cut candidate, which might be better for him, especially if he's still in a vacancy somewhere. But we got a 2-4-7-2 build right now. We got Jalen Hurts and Tyler Shuck with Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson. Really love that RB room. It's a little too much draft capital tied in, but getting that value on Henderson. I feel like maybe if I took a receiver instead of Judkins or Etienne, the team would really be popping. JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dejon Stribling. Guy could have been his teammate, Juwan Jennings, and Dontavian Wicks. Then tight end, Trey McBride, Hunter Henry. I'm liking that team. We got a pick coming up here, so I won't go to the draft board view. Dylan Sampson does not make sense for this team, though I do think you can draft him with Judkins. I just don't want to take another RB. Though Marshawn Lloyd, tell you what, that's a tempting little tasty treat. Geno Smith, good camp reports for him so far. Apparently getting the ball downfield. He's also using red contacts to help him with his visibility. It can't hurt. All right, Geno Smith is a wreck. I'm cool getting more Aaron Rodgers here. I don't really care about the lack of correlation. We just want to get projection points in at QB. And Aaron Rodgers will give us some. So there we go. QB3, Aaron Rodgers. There's a point where I thought I would get Sam Darnold, but he went a little bit early. So go QB3, Aaron Rodgers with Jalen Hurts and Tyler Shuck. RB, again, Chase Brown, ATN, Judkins, Henderson. We have been done at RB for rounds and rounds now. A receiver, JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dejon Stribling, Juwan Jennings, Dontavian Wicks. If JSN regresses this year, this team is fucked, but if he's as good or better, we'll be good. And tight end, Trey McBride, Hunter Henry. Be definitely loading up at RB caused a little bit of issues for me, I think, in terms of how the draft capital aligned, but I'm still happy with the team. I think getting those unique discounts, TreVeyon Henderson, I mean, going to pick 66 probably happens 1% of the time. I mean, I don't know. Somebody out there might know the probability math better, but it's got to be sub 5, at the very least sub 10. So to get that kind of value here, I think was worth the deviation to the team, even though, you know, really think going up here, getting Devontae Adams instead of Judkins, even DJ Moore, who's had a good camp, Watson instead of Judkins, getting McLaurin over ATN, Tet McMillan instead of ATN. Those are probably the moves that could have been made differently in hindsight. We're all good. Going to do a DraftKings draft next, and we'll see which way the wind's blowing for more. But please do show some love if you can, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Goes a long way for any content you enjoy on YouTube, but especially me, just one guy, not doing enough streams to really get the channel's algorithm going the right way. But I will be strapping in soon for NFL DFS season. We'll also have a bunch more best ball content and the home stretch as well. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll keep showing up and doing the work as best I can. No matter what time of year it is, no matter what sport's going on, it is still fantasy football all year long here on Splash Play. Of course, our presenting sponsor of the show, Snap Stats. Check them out. First company dedicated to AI company, rather, dedicated to sports betting and fantasy. They have AI trainable models. If you're doing redraft leagues, they have a lot of stuff that syncs in directly with Sleeper to help make you make better decisions year round, along with actually make better drafts. $10 for your first month is a really good deal. It's normally just shy of 30. So check it out at trysnap.ai, TRYSNAPP.ai. Promo code SPLASHPLAY on there to get it in good with the AI biz while you can. We are on the clock. Wow, what an ad read. Done just in time. Fire Booth here would not be bad correlation. My shit always wants me to take Mike Washington. Kayshon Boutte, though, I love at receiver. I'm going to take him here. Apparently been the best player in camp for most of these days for New England. And I am happy to get him in round 17 at this point. I've seen him go in round 16 sometimes. We got some New England bets here and everybody besides A.J. Brown, basically. I think that bodes pretty well with Hunter Henry, Kayshon Boutte, TreVeyon Henderson. So the team right now, Hurts, Shuck, Aaron Rodgers at QB. Hopefully Hurts is good this year. Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, TreVeyon Henderson. And I do believe Hurts will be good. Apparently a lot more designed runs as well with the Sean Mannion offense there starting up there. JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dejon Stribling, Juwan Jennings, Dontavian Wicks, Kayshon Boutte. More volume than I would usually get at receiver. Generally getting 5 at RB, 7 at receiver. But we have so much capital tied up at RB. 4 was right there. And frankly, 7, 8, 9 at receiver is probably the move. That's how it's looking here with 1 pick left. Let me make sure I'm logged in on DraftKings on here because I don't know the last time I've logged into DraftKings on here. All right, there we go. I'll log in and get a code probably. Okay. I'll do that in parallel. All right, we are loading my location. Good. All right. DK coming up next. I will give you guys a chance to enter along with me if you want. Once we make this last pick here, give the team a read. Sim would probably go RB. Nick Singleton, Justice Hill, James Conner. I am not so into that. I am into Ted Hurst. I don't think he should be available in round 18 right now. Again, McMillan is missing time right now because of a banged up knee. He'll be fine, you would think. What he had last year was a neck injury, so it's nothing reoccurring. But Hurst being out there early is a really good sign. He played at, I think it was Georgia State. So he didn't play high-level competition in college, but an elite target earner at 34%, that matters more to me than where you played. He's big too, 6'3", 195. He's out there a lot to block as well, which is good for him. Again, gets you on the field, great. But I think Ted Hurst really is a guy that I want to get more of here. So to get him, I think looks pretty good. So the final team here on Underdog, or his final version of the team, we got Jalen Hurts, Tyler Shuck, Aaron Rodgers At RB, we got Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson as well rounds out that RB room. Again, massive discount getting him at pick 66. I couldn't avoid it. JSN, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, really starved receiver after taking that first round guy with JSN. Had to make it up with volume. So we went Sutton, Worthy, Wandale Robinson, Dejon Stribling, really a lot of PPR guys. Juwan Jennings, Dontavian Wicks, Keyshawn Butte, who is more of a touchdown guy. Ted Hurst, love him late. And then Trey McBride, Hunter Henry. I think the team works for me. Definitely a unique team, but I'm cool with it. All right, we're to go to DraftKings next, guys. And let's enter it. Best Ball Milly. I think I've got like 5 entries in right now, but need to get a lot more. I'll show this again. I understand. I'm not going to boost my winnings on this tournament. I think I'll save that for a DFS tournament. We're entered in here, and that's a snap fill. Okay, sorry guys, I can't control it. Maybe somebody got in with me. Probably not. Well, look, we might get 2 in of each today, but DK draft coming up next. Of course, the Best Ball Champion does work on here as well. Gonna make me log in again, but it'll work. There we go. We're off. And we are good to go here. Where should this go on DK? That's the question. I'm going to shrink it, I think. Should I make it big and wide, make it chode mode? Yeah, we'll go chode mode here. We'll go chode mode. All right, Andrew got in here, pick 6. I hope that goes well. Appreciate Fantasy Football Enjoyer. Come give me a nickname that I don't want. I feel like Spags is already a nickname. You don't have to give me a nickname on a longer version of it. But here to be entertained. Hopefully you'll be entertained here. You guys, show some love. Hit that like button and subscribe. Appreciate it a bunch, especially on this channel right now where I've not shown up enough in the off season. And I get it here. If you don't want to give me the like, I feel like I've neglected you. I know people sometimes give me that vibe where it's like I've been a neglectful parent. I know you guys are on other streams too. I see the same usernames on Chad Candle streams, on Toxic Tower streams. I'm glad you guys have found other places to be on a more regular basis, but I'm still here giving you the best I can when I am here. And that is always the promise. Hit that like button and subscribe, guys. And of course, check out our friends over at Snap Stats. Again, they're helping me put on the shows these days. Link in the description. $10 for your first month with that promo code SPLASHPLAY at TrySnap.ai. And especially if you're a redraft player, I think they're building some cool stuff for Sleeper. You'd also get custom reports sent daily. Just make sure that you're pinging it if it doesn't send you one. But check it out for yourself over at TrySnap.ai. Again, a product that I think is still going to get better and better as time goes on. And hopefully heading into NFL DFS season, NBA DFS season, more and more to tap into on there. I think betting stuff too, really. I don't talk enough about the betting models. Lots of value on there. Sorry, I'm just being quirky. It's okay. It's okay. I just don't know, like, I need more nicknames, but I respect your right to do it. So there's worse ones. Well, life been too good. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope it gets better. I'm able to scrape your DK teams to BBMDB. I have been before, but I haven't done it today. I haven't done any DK teams in the week because I've been like, I got to get Best Ball Mania. Even though like DK is more money, the prestige of winning BBM / the ego of winning BBM is unfortunately still higher for me. And thank you, Robert Griffin III, member for 37 months. I always come back when you're on. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are a loyal friend, and I appreciate that a bunch. And hopefully you'll pay back that loyalty when we get into NFL and NBA DFS season again, especially. Well, let's go here. I'm going to recommend a pick 4. Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua coming up. See what this guy does at pick 3. The usual Gibbs, Bijan start. Nothing shocking there. This guy really thinking about it. Do I go Jamar Chase? Do I go Puka Nacua? I don't know. Come on, man. He doesn't even realize the draft has started. There goes Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua. Gonna love the pick button working on DK as beautifully as it does. But happy to get Puka Nacua, man. I personally believe Puka Nacua is the better click at pick 3. Oh, now who will give me more nicknames? Spagasis. Thank you. Spagarino, Spagasis. But yeah, I think Puka Nacua to me, especially on DK where it is full point PPR. I mean, you're just talking about, and you can look at the Splash Play dossier here, which I don't probably show you guys enough, but the stats that I think are most important pulled into this tool here. I mean, the fact that he's putting up 37% target per out run, compared to Jamar Chase he's got to be sub 30. I think he might be sub 28. Let's see. Show drafted. All right. Jamar Chase. No, he got to 30 last year. 30% target per out run. I still think for Jamar Chase, the biggest thing is like you have the healthy T. Higgins. you have an offense that's working the way it should, in which like Jamar Chase is sucking attention away from the other guys. I personally think that you want less Jamar Chase than you would Puka Nacua, who's like that entire offense. And even JSN. Like, I certainly have fears about Seattle regressing. I watched Hard Knocks. Good vibes for Seattle. I like them as a team. The coach seems like a nice guy. But I think they're going to regress a little bit. For Puka, though, like, this is a team. Actually have the Vegas total tool, which I'll show you guys real fast, because I really do like the way that it looks on screen as well. I'm going to show you guys the Rams here on the Vegas tab on the NFL site, which is available for you guys that are members. But look at the Rams totals. I mean, it's color-coded here, but it's green the entire year. The only game that they're under 24 points is against Seattle in Week 16, where, like, you know, things are probably going to matter the most. And then for the other playoff weeks, you got Dallas, 29.3 implied points. At Tampa Bay, implied for 27, you know, rounded up implied points. Like, really big totals for the Rams. So I just feel like Puka Nacua should be, you know, more heralded. He's going pick 4, so it's not like, you know, anybody's shitting on him, really. But I just think Jamar Chase, like, I don't know. You could put Chase at 5 for me, and I wouldn't be mad at it. CMC going to pick 108 here, too. When you're on DK, full point PPR, I don't get that either. If anything, he should break up the right receiver tier. Frankly, make the case he can go 103 on DK as well, as long as he's healthy. Niners, though, injury bit. I mean, they always are, but, like, I don't believe in those kind of, like, the substation nearby, whatever. Like, I don't believe that shit. But maybe just not a good trainer, like, could be the issue. Supposedly they have, like, a very rigorous return to competition, which is what kept Pearsall from playing previously. And yeah, Pearsall had an entire offseason, and he's fucked up again. And now you have all your other receivers banged up too. You know, Mike Evans is getting banged up. That's happened everywhere. Every coach, every trainer possible. So it's not a surprise. But at a certain point, you got to look at, like, something's got to be wrong here. And I don't think it's just, we're near weird electrical signals or whatever, nuclear signals. Who knows? All right, we got picks coming up here, or a pick. Really, this is the thing. If you're going optimally to me, you start receiver. You ideally want to ping pong back to RB for 1 round, 2 rounds. An elite tight end, if they're there, I'm okay with that. But, you know, to me, that's what the optimal drafting is like getting that balance. I think of it kind of, and I was thinking of it like, what's a good analogy for people? But it's not a good one because nobody bought this thing. You guys remember the Wii Fit? It's like a balance board thing. And you'd play the games and it would show you, like, oh, you lean too much on your left side, you know, when you're standing, you know, casually or whatever. That's to me what best ball drafting is in 2026. It's like, oh, cool. I really went heavy on receiver with the first pick. So I want to go tap RB here, get myself to this point, or I want to go tight end. But the goal is to make yourself more balanced. I would have been happy to take Brock Bowers there for whatever that's worth. But Derrick Henry coming up here is the most likely pick. Let's sim it out anyway. Yeah, Derrick Henry, 25% sim win rate. If the guy is number 1 here, that means he's the highest marginal value compared to everybody else, which means he just wins you more across the entire best ball season and in the finals. So Derrick Henry's the pick here. So a Derrick Henry, Puka Nacua start. I feel like on DK, you're not getting that, or on an underdog rather, you're not getting that very often. So that's kind of fun. And combinatorial ownership does work on DK as well. I just didn't pull it in before the show. Let me see. Contests. Upcoming. Here, let's just scrape it real fast here. So I like showing the exposure thing. I feel like that's one of the big features. Enhance scrape. Oh, it's got too many of my MLB entries on here. Shit. Group by. Well, fuck it. Oh, wait, no, I could filter by best ball. I think this will work. Let's see. Enhance scrape. There we go. All right, scrape selected. Did they change their interface? No, we got it. All right, we're good. Fucking never know. Sites be changing UX left and right on you, and you don't even have any idea. All right, we're on the clock here. Malik Neighbors just went. Let's sim this out. It is mostly receivers up top here. Wants me to go Zay Flowers. I still am more inclined to take the top receiver ADP-wise, which would be Chris Olave right now. But I do think Hiron Williams is the more logical pick, especially given that we do have the Ram stuff going. So I'm going to go Kyron. He was coming up at number 2 here. I'm going to make this bigger. I feel like I don't want to see just 2 guys up top. Here, let's make it so you can see ADPs. And this can go right here. That works. All right, so the team so far, we got Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. I should make it a little bit smaller. And I like the start. Definitely don't think you're building teams like that in Underdog ever. So that's sort of my ideal. Go back to the draft board here. Glad to see the BBC all over DK. Yeah, we got all the acronyms here. We're loading them up. All those Niner vaccines on the injuries on the vaccine. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, those guys, they got vaxxed and double boosted. So that's the problem. Leg up aggressively pulling up neighbors who their ill-advised fate is hilarious to me. Yeah, I saw that on Discord. Again, I think that's the issue when you make a ranking-based tool as much. Like for me, neighbors lost projection naturally because Giants Vegas totals went down. Underdog knocked their projection down. I feel pretty good about me not, neighbors came down a little bit naturally throughout how the tool works. I think their tool, just be real about it. And this is me. If they were listening, I hope they would take the critique as somebody who's like coming with a decent product management background, had a betting startup, knows enough about how Stochastic built their product, has now built my own, which I think works in a good way that's different from a lot of other stuff out there. I really wouldn't put rank inputs as a thing. Like make the projections your input. Start building your projections now and let that inform ranks. But I think letting ranks drive things in best ball is like not the way to do it if you have a sim product that's so good. I don't know. I think you just force people on stuff that you shouldn't naturally, because if the math's not putting them there naturally with your sim, then the sim itself isn't correct. So I don't get it. That's me. It's me being real to guys. Like and I hope they wouldn't take offense and go to fucking war with me because I'm not trying to do that. Though I am always ready for war. As you guys know, as a DFS army can tell you, I'm always ready. But I don't know. I don't get what they're doing, to be real about it. That's okay. I don't have to. If it gets results, great. And if it doesn't, then we look at that and go, people maybe made some points that should have been heard better. Appreciate our guy Go Easy Cards watching here. An optimal draft so far. Thank you. I hope so. Hope you're happy with your draft so far. Our guy Andrew's in the 6 hole. And I like what he's doing. Would have wanted the second RB there instead of Devontae Smith, but I get it. Our start here, we got Puka Nacua, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams. Pick coming up in a few. Let's take some water. And I'm feeling like this might be a 4 draft day, guys, because I got some energy. My throat's back. The throat goat's back in town. So I can speak without dying like the last time we did some videos. So we'll see. We'll pivot back and forth. We'll do an underdog draft next. One more BBM. That can play. Or one more DK Milly. All right. Let's see. Let's sim it out. I usually just sim last minute because it runs fast enough that you don't have to do it in advance. But yeah. Always using the BBC and your throat hurts. I mean, that's how it goes. All right. So right now it wants me to take a receiver here, which I think is fair. We've probably gotten enough at RB at this point in. Though I do think getting one more RB would not be a crazy thing. Kind of been liking taking some Bashal Tootin. But Garrett Wilson after ADP, getting that second receiver in, will go full balance mode. I'm going to do it. Garrett Wilson, come on down. So Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson. Again, would like to have gotten another RB. I think Bashal Tootin would have been a fun one to add in here. Though really seems like the workload between him and Chris Rodriguez more split at camp than you want if you are a Bashal Tootin bull. But I'm trying to get both sides of it, and I've been low on Tootin enough that I want to get there a little bit more these days. Back to the draft board view for a little bit. Shout out Ben, I appreciate that a bunch. Never really a chatter, but always watching. Good to have you back. Some best ball and football content. Thank you. Yeah, NFL DFS, definitely you're going to get the full haul from me. Best ball was just, I didn't have a sponsor. Now I do, but they're sponsored kind of the whole enchilada. So you're going to get probably, 1 to 2 a week for me down the home stretch. And next year for best ball, look, if the tool's working well and people are signing up for it, happy to do more. But honestly, I kind of want to see how the BBC does year one. And if it's an edge, I could afford to keep it as an edge for people that are really locked in and following what I'm doing. All right. Pick coming up again. Want to be careful. The Tootin rise. C-Rod seems like a fun one to load a little more up. I mean, just the guy who's going to have touchdown equity, I'm always happy to go with, especially when they're, picks 100 to 150. Those are the guys I think that you want to get more of in your portfolio from RB3 to RB5 and hopefully, pair them with guys that have full balanced workloads. Tootin goes, so I'm not getting him here. Swift, though, I think is going to look pretty good. And Bucky Irving looking good, too. We have week 17 correlation with our Rams stuff. Um, I do think I still generally believe though in taking the higher ADP guy, and Swift is a higher ADP guy. And he doesn't have a conflicting buy, so I'm gonna go Swift. Still team Swift here. I love my boy Bucky. I will get him, I'm sure, above the field still. But it's honestly been hard to get him. I feel like an Underdog, his ADP is coming up enough. He's had some good reports. I thought this entire time he'd be more involved in the pass game, but it seems like Gainwell's getting the pass game work and Bucky's getting more base down work. But I think that offense is going to be good. So I think Baker's coming out with a chip on his shoulder, and if he didn't, he just wouldn't get another job with his contract stuff. So we'll see. We got Derrick Henry, Kyron, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, and DeAndre Swift. Again, we're feeling pretty good draft capital wise. We've got 129 points at RB. Goal is to get it between 100 and 155. Obviously, the higher the better if you stay in that green zone. And a receiver, 137 points of draft capital right now. The goal is to get it 155 to 225. So definitely go a little bit heavier at receiver, but we'll have time to do that. Denver and Tampa Bay, you want all of them. See, Denver, I worry about being a little bit too choppy of an offense. Just because of the fact that you have a lot of different RBs there. You have a bunch of receivers that are going to want to get touches. Like Sutton has earned his role. I think it's going to be mostly a touchdown dominant role. Waddle, obviously they're paying the money for. He's another guy who's already a little bit banged up as well. That's supposedly okay. I don't know. And then the RBs, you now have I think that Coleman might be good. They've been saying that he's looking, Sean Payton said verbatim that he doesn't look like a rookie in the way that he would have expected. Obviously brought Dobbins back. Dobbins swears he'll be full health all year. We'll see how that goes. And then, RJ Harvey, I think, has earned a pass game role, even though the base work was not very good last year. I didn't think. So I don't know. I think for Denver, and then, and the defense is so good, they shouldn't have to score a lot. So I don't know. I'm not crazy about Denver, but Tampa Bay, I'm with you on. I like Tampa Bay. Good choice to such an outstanding pick with the Gibbs or Bijan team. I agree. I mean, I like that for, if I'm not punting RB a little bit further down the chain, especially. But yeah, also what this guy did here with Gibbs and reuniting him with David Montgomery for your best ball team. I like that too. I do think him taking Judkins is a bit of an error though. At this point, you want the third receiver. Ranked Tampa Bay wide receivers pretty pleased. For me, it would be, ADP wise, I mean, it has to be Puka, but I think Godwin week to week is probably going to give you more reliable PPR points. So I think it's more like a 1A, 1B. But, I'm not going to say, hey, ignore ADPs for the guy that's 50 spots later. So they could take Puka 1, Godwin 2. I still like McMillan more than Hurst. I think McMillan's got, the vibe with Baker to catch touchdowns and deep passes in a way that was missing last year. It was also part of why Puka ran so hot to me was that McMillan wasn't out there. So I think I'd still go McMillan over Hurst. But if McMillan can't stay healthy, I mean, I'm not worried about him yet, but neck injury last year, knees banged up and they're being ambiguous about it. You never want to see that for a guy. Hurst, I think, is a really interesting long-term prospect, though. All right, I think this has got to be a Jaden Daniels pick here. But let's sim it out anyway, see what it gives us. Brian Thomas and Jaden on top of the board. And yep, it is Jaden, and I'm happy to get that. QB in this range, you got to do it. But Jaden, according to ETR, going to have a top 12 offensive line this year, which is great news. You're adding more weapons for him with Diggs. I think Chig was an awesome signing, getting a young version of Zach Ertz. Guy can get the ball in space and actually do something after the catch. McLaurin getting paid his big money, and they want to feed him the ball. I am, if you've missed it so far, I am fully back in on Washington this year. Obviously, didn't work out last year. If Jaden gets hurt, sucks. But I think there's still a world where he could put up 1,000 rushing yards. And I think Blau is going to be smart, man. I think he's got that. I'm a shitty real life QB. But man, I know ball. That's what I'm really hoping. But it's good. Been good reports from camp, and Jaden's been really accurate in camp, and he's apparently thrown to all levels. And a lot of quotes from the team that kind of made it seem like Cliff Kingsbury was maybe stifling the offense last year, and they're kind of saying that in coded words, if not outright. So I'm hoping. All right, we got a pick coming up here. A plus CV with an auto drafter. I mean, it depends on who's drafting. It's really one of those things where a lot of people have a hard enough time drafting up to league average standards or, average advance rate stuff. All right. So normally not a Brian Thomas guy, but if he's going to fall a bunch of spots after ADP, 10 spots after, happy to hear it. Beats say that he looks as good as he has since his rookie year. I don't know why they weren't saying that last year. But again, if it's a player I don't really like, I want to take him at a discount. And Brian Thomas, one of those guys, I think he got his best run out the year that Mac Jones was starting. So they just had nobody else left. And I think that's one of those things where you add more weapons. Some guys get lost in that a little bit. And Brian Thomas, a guy in LSU also got lost in that. But your hope is that I think if you're playing Brian Thomas this year, your hope is actually that you get him being more like the LSU version where, yeah, he got gobbled up target per out run wise by Malik Neighbors, but you know what? He was still out there, 20% target per out run rate, making massive plays over and over again. I think that's your hope for him at this point in his career because he showed last year he's not going to naturally earn targets when you put legit receivers around him. And I say that as I'm taking him here, but like, wish he were better, man. I was really low on him on that 1-2 turn spot last year, and wasn't one of the regrets for sure. But guys, if you can, we are in round 7 here in a DK draft. Please do show some love. Hit that like button and subscribe. It goes a long way for anybody you enjoy on YouTube, but especially me, just one guy, does the work as best I can across the 3 major sports, MLB on my @SplashPlayBets channel, NBA as well, every day on my @SplashPlayBets channel when it's in season, NFL here as well, covering best ball, covering DFS, building out the DFS stuff on the site. It's a lot of work. I do it because I love it. I do it because I know it adds value to enough of you guys out there. So please show some love. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I will keep showing up and doing that work as best I can. And check out my site too. I've not plugged it yet. SplashPlayPodcast.com/join. Right now, actually, if you sign up for the Best Ball Champion, it'll be $40 for the last month here, the entire home stretch, and you'll get it basically until the end of these tournaments. I think that's a pretty good deal. But get in. Feel like I showed you guys my EV on BBMDB. Oh, wait, we don't need to plug Splash Sports right now. I showed you my EV over on BBMDB before. But this is all built with the Best Ball Champion tool. This is me just mostly listening to it over and over again. You're talking about, more than $1,000 more than what the expected, baseline rate return is, more than my entries I put in an EV. That's what this tool will give you. And, I'm really proud of what I built. The fact that a third-party tool like BBMDB will confirm that I'm putting up something good, I think is really going to bode well for the season. But check it out, bestballchampion.com, link in the description too if you want to go to splashplaypodcast.com. But get access to it. I really am proud of this Best Ball Champion tool. All right. Let's go here and let's sim it out. Yeah, the 101 drafting guy is way ahead of ADP. Does not seem like the smartest thing in the world, but they're doing it. It's tough. Alec Pierce falling in this room because it just has out on him, even though he'll be back and playing more than soon enough. But it wants me to go tight end here with Kyle Pitts. And we do need a tight end, and the BBC really thinks structurally getting tight end in this range is very important. So let's get Kyle Pitts in here and not risk it. And hopefully we'll get something good on the way back. Were they drafting much Pearsall or Brazel? No. Thankfully, not much of those guys. I had 5% of Pearsall across everything, and Brazel well under that. It sucks, though. I get that there's, a lot of stuff out there that I think could have boded well for Brazel, but to me, like the fact that they just signed Coker to that money, I just didn't see the reason to get there this year. But he had like a decent target share in college. His Tennessee target share is kind of bullshit, but is what it is. All right, we got a pick coming up here. Our team so far: Jaden, Derrick Henry, Kyron, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas, Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift. And let's see here what this guy does. I mean, there's great ADP values on the board no matter what this guy does. The room has gone a little bit nuts here. All right. Alec Pierce comes all the way back here. Josh Downs, right there in ADP with him. Jordan Addison correlates, but I'm not going to give him that boost. I'm going Alec Pierce. I just believe generally, again, absorb the ADP value. We're talking 13 picks after his normal ADP. And Alec Pierce, that out button or that out tag on DK is so fucking stupid with it. It's crazy that we're now so many years into best ball drafting on DraftKings, and people still see the Q tag or the out tag in July and August. They're like, this guy's got to fall. And like, why? But anyway, add Alec Pierce on. Really loving this team so far. BBC does love a tight end. You're switching to drug promotion, Adam, after your AI quotes? I don't know what we're doing here. I don't get the new bit, but sure. Yeah, 25% of drafters teams had Rizzy. Hate to hear that. When the room goes crazy, does BBC take this into consideration like QBs are flying off? It'll make you reach if it thinks you need QB and have no chance of filling up the draft capital bucket. So yes, indirectly, but it's not looking at other teams in the room now. You don't want to make these things more complicated than they need to be. I feel like Charles asked a lot of questions like that. Because I think you and some of the people have too. It's not just you. I think like people who've like really have done best ball at high volume for a while, like expect tools to do more than I think they should. It's like stochastic sim. Like one of the biggest lessons I had was kind of digging in deeper on what their sim does. And it does what it does well, but it like kind of strips stuff down more in a way than, than even I would want. And the reason it does that is because it allows you to keep the playing field somewhat level day to day for the most part, all that. I think for a best ball sim too, like you don't really want to be mindful of like heightening your advance rate for the sim in this room, because like then it's going to impact how it could sim out relative to the tournament. So you keep it flat, I believe. I update projections pretty frequently. I update Vegas totals that are pulled in for the entire season pretty frequently. That's the most that I'll do. But yeah, the way that I would consider it is just like you don't have QBs available and it thinks you need QB points. So it's going to recommend then reaching for QB instead. But like if QB is somehow, like let's say QB was entirely gone here, I don't know that it would tell you to get Geno Smith because he's still, more than 24 spots away. Because in general, in a best ball draft, you never want to reach more than, ideally 12 spots, but definitely not more than 24. Said that Goff got taken from you. That's tough. It's tough. That's best ball though. Frankly, a big part of me building the BBC out was like, you guys know, and I would ham it up for streams, but like, getting sniped over and over again in tournaments was just so frustrating. And it's like, if you have a sim product that kind of recenters what you're doing and looks at your lineup and looks at what's available, then you don't have to worry about it as much. And that was sort of, like best ball, I think gets less fun when you're just getting sniped over and over again. So having ways out that you don't have to think too much about, that are sort of forward looking, I think that's the hope. Is there a BBMDB equivalent for DK? BBMDB does pull in DK, though I don't know if it's working currently based on what Nolan was saying earlier, but it should work on there. I'm sure that if it doesn't work right now, that the guy who does it, Patrick, will probably update the extension at some point to fix it. But it was working previously. I have some DK teams pulled in, but I haven't done it in like a couple weeks. I've been purely underdog mode for the last few weeks because that's still the one. Still want to dunk on everybody on there the most. DK I have one money on, we got Bo Nix coming up here, but wants me to take Baker Mayfield more for the week 17 correlation with the Rams stuff that we have. Again, I believe in taking the higher ADP guy or the lower ADP guy. So I'm going to go Bo Nix here. You have to update to the latest version. Okay, so BBMDB does work with DK. So just update your extension, and it'll pull in DraftKings, but up to 14% EV. There you go. I'll hear that. I think on Underdog, my EVs are generally for BBM, and the highest tournaments are the ones I've graded out the best, like 143%. So like 40% EV. My DK has been really high so far though, but I've only done, I think, 5 DK Milly drafts. All right, let's make this pick here. We need a QB, but it's not going there yet. I'm getting a little worried though, because DK, I feel like QB can get ugly. But we got Bo Nix last time out. We can just ride with him and hope he rushes enough. Romeo Dobbs coming up for week 17 correlation. Khalil Shakir. Dobbs has had a pretty bad camp, it sounds like. Butte looking better. But I think for Romeo Dobbs, he is still getting paid enough. I worry for Dobbs, though, and this is one of those little wrinkles in the world of football that is in the back of my brain with hearing Dobbs had a really shitty camp so far. Number one, you have A.J. Brown coming in as well, which is not great for Dobbs. Like, I think if he were the number one receiver getting paid the most, then guys like Butte would matter less. But, like, sometimes guys just vibe with one QB and they never vibe with anybody else again. Josh Reynolds would be a good example of that. Like, Josh Reynolds has only vibed with Jared Goff. The only time he's been good in his career really was with Jared Goff. He's gotten contracts since then. He's been okay. But I think for Romeo Dobbs, that'd be my concern, is that, like, he is Jordan Love's guy. He would travel and work out with Jordan Love every offseason. At times when a couple of years ago, Christian Watson wasn't doing it, Jaden Reed wasn't doing it. It was just, Dobbs doing it with Jordan Love to get him going, especially before he came the starter. So, like, for Dobbs, that's my one real, like, it's not a data point. It's just me. If I'm going to be neurotic about it and worry about it, I just think Dobbs, like, you can not use him. Like, you can use A.J. Brown, you could use Butte, and Dobbs just becomes nothing there, and he's just a shitty contract that gets cut in the offseason kind of thing. But we'll see. I'm taking Dobbs today, so I hope he's good. Most of your drafts are 7 a.m., which is probably the worst time to draft EV-wise. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, lately I'm drafting during work hours exclusively because that's how we got to get our nut in. But I do recommend, BBMDB works for DraftKings, works for Underdog. Check it out. Important to have, in my opinion, a third party checking what you're doing. And now that one exists, very happy to use it. Now, some people out there, including sharp guys, one of the guys on our Discord, I'd say is very smart. previously worked at DK. He was like, I think, taking some umbrage with people on Twitter, kind of touting BBMDB as like a look how good I am at drafting thing, which I get that. But, like, I still think for anything you do gambling wise, you want to see good signal rather than bad signal. So if I were on BBMDB and it was telling me it expects me to advance, 10% of my teams, I would be a little bit panicked. Like, I would try to correct that down the home stretch, because anytime you have a median outcome telling you that, I don't think it's a good thing. But let's send this out here. We have a 2-3-4-1. 2-3-5-1 right now. Wants another tight end with Bretton Strange. Chigakonkwo we can get as well. I feel like that should be the top pick. I don't know why Bretton Strange is coming up higher here. Chigakonkwo coming up. Because Bretton Strange is a stack and a week 17 correlation. That makes sense. Because he would be our Jaden week 17 oppo. And we also do have Jacksonville correlations. That's it. But we're going to go Chigakonkwo instead. Again, very happy to get Chig whenever I can get him at this point. I do think ADP-wise as well. Think he's at the appropriate price tag. Though we might get a little bit cheaper with Diggs coming in. So maybe could have tried to hold off on him. It's okay. Let's actually give the team a read here. We got Jaden Daniels and Derrick Henry, along with Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, still getting used to the Magic Mouse. Sorry for scrolling all over. Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr., big ADP discount there. Kyle Pitts, had to have him with the tight end draft capital at that point. DeAndre Swift, Alec Pierce, Bo Nix, Romeo Dobbs, and Chigakonkwo. I like to see him. Really feel like I've gotten good value here. Still got to stick the landing. I like how it's shaping up. All right, Bretton Strange goes. We won't be getting him today. BBC wants Jalen McMillan. We do have the Daniel Jones correlation. I'm going to go Daniel Jones. Let's get that third QB out of the way, because the draft capital you want on DK is a little bit higher with 20-round draft. And now we've hit our capital for QB, for RB, for receiver, for tight end. A 3-3-5-2 build. And the team so far, Jaden, Derrick Henry, and Kyron Williams. Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas, Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift, Alec Pierce, Bo Nix, Romeo Dobbs, Chigakonkwo, and Daniel Jones here. Any movement on Chig with Diggs signing? Let's see. Not yet. Looks like he's up. I don't know. I had to cut some of the dates here because I have too many in the back end now. Let me see. Is this actually the one that was here for him, though? Hold up. I'm supposed to pull the one from the screen. Yeah, he's at 137.6. So, no, he has not moved at all. At least on DK. Underdog, it may be different. But, yeah, that's his live ADP right now. Just wanted to make sure that was actually correct, because you never know. All right, show drafted. But I would certainly think he should. He should fall to at least 140. Couple spots. You can't have a movement on your team that meaningfully affects target share and the guy doesn't move at all. I don't think you should move hugely. It shouldn't be one of those drops like Antonio Williams getting the death sentence drop. I get that. I don't think for Chig as a tight end, his snap count's not going to change because Diggs is there really. Target share will. But also, frankly, for a guy like Chig, give him more space to get there underneath. That's probably where he pays off even more. So, I don't know. For me, ADP-wise, he should fall because that's just what happens in markets. Fall, 5 spots, 10 spots. But it doesn't seem like he is so far. McLaurin falling around in your DKs lately. Let's look at his. It's possible DK just hasn't updated ADP either, because I updated a couple days ago. So, it might be the case. Let's see. McLaurin was at 45. Now he's down to 46.8. So he's moving a little bit, but not that fast. Not that fast. I think DK2 maybe is kind of doing something to mitigate falls a little bit. I didn't see how they handled Pearsall. He's still in the pool, right? I might be able to figure it out. Let's see. Pearsall, he's broken here because they put an IR thing on him. Okay, never mind. But I don't recall them moving Pearsall as fast as Underdog did, so that could be part of it. Mostly talking out of my ass, though, so don't quote me on this. All right, there we go. Let's give the team a read because we got a pick coming up. We got Jaden Daniels as our elite QB, even though he's not really priced like an elite QB. Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas here. Value is too good, even though I am not a Brian Thomas lover. Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift, Alec Pierce, Bo Nix, Romeo Dobbs, Chika Okonkwo, Daniel Jones. Happy with the team. Very happy with how this is shaping up, and I think we will get a nice RB here as well right now, potentially, in Tyjae Spears. Yep, that's the pick. 4th RB here. I love Tyjae, one of my highest exposed RBs on Underdog again. A couple years ago, he paid off really well for me. I don't know if it's going to be the case again necessarily. But I do think for Tyjae, I just like the ability for him to earn more role in an ambiguous backfield. The new coaching staff. He's always had juice and avoid a tackle rate. He's also a guy that can catch passes. Probably still more contingent value for Tony Pollard than you would like, but I like Tyjae's talent too much. He lit us up, man, at Tulane when played USC in the bowl game, which is not the reason I like him, but because Saquon Barkley that does in college too, and fuck that guy. All right, we got a pick coming up here. Ryan Flournoy is a wreck, 6th receiver. I love Flournoy. Happy to get him. Some talk from CeeDee Lamb within the last week about they believe that Ryan Flournoy can be a 1,000-yard receiver. Obviously, that's his teammates pumping his tires a little bit, but Flournoy showed legit upside last year in a way I was honestly kind of surprised by. And if you do get one of those guys going down, I think he just steps into that 1B receiver role more than he probably should. So Flournoy to me, just one of those guys I am very happy to get in round 15 here. I mean, 16 on Underdog enough. I've taken Flournoy a lot this year. I mean, Underdog killed Pearsall entirely, and I think DK hopefully has killed him entirely. I took him out of the sim, though. I did make a fix here for the Best Ball Champion where guys like Roselle and Pearsall are out for the year. You now don't get it all in the sim. The Underdog, I think, fixed it enough where you wouldn't have anyway. DK, I don't know. I hope so. Sip of water for the working man here. Gonna think I'm gonna do at least one more Underdog draft. Possibly one more Underdog in DK. I feel like DK just goes so slow. I think this is my biggest issue with it. I know Underdog people like the 20-second clock for some people is not, they don't like it. They want more time to think. For me, it's perfect. Like a 20-second clock, I think is one of the biggest benefits for the Best Ball Champion is that it sims out in less than 5 seconds. I could put people on the clock real fast. I love that. So to me, doing fast drafts is where the EV is. 20-second clock where the EV is. 30-second clock, I feel like I'm in quicksand here. Taking so long. Yeah. A lot of deliberate idiots on DK, and then they're picking Kamani Vidal in round 15. And I like Kamani Vidal, but he's my round 19, round 20 guy on DK. In fact, somebody's taking him in round 15 here. I'm worried about how round 19 and 20 are going to look today because I've not done a DK draft in a couple of weeks. It's too hard, man. I don't see how people do this shit where guys like Sacrilegious, I think, are in every draft room, but he's getting in. I believe his goal is thousands of best ball drafts this year. So many things to get done. The MLB DFS is what's killing me this year. That's bankroll and also effort. We missed it this year up doing MLB DFS on the Splash Play Bets channel. And that means for me, updating data 7 days a week, playing every slate too, to make sure I'm also pulling in data to keep back testing and improving product. So it has been a haul for MLB. And as a result, I've neglected best ball. But the thing is that I think the sim is going to work best in August. It's going to have all the signal that I can incorporate and use. And I think I still want to make sure to get half my action in August, no matter what. So I'm definitely going to be getting more than half my action in August. All right, Pearsall does get auto drafted on DK. So yeah, watch out for that. That's no good. Sucks for that guy. But his draft is probably already fucked anyway. So if you're taking Kamani Vidal in round 15, you might have been boned no matter what. All right, Geno Smith hanging on here, but we already have 3 QBs. On DK, though, you can take the 4th. I am going to go Keyshawn Butte again, though. Feel like getting the 7th receiver here feels pretty good. 3rd tight end would also not be a bad move. Sim definitely wants me to get that 3rd tight end here. We have not hit our draft capital at tight end, but we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Yeah, definitely some bad drafting here today. Pick one did not do a great job. Way too many RBs for that. If you're going to take Gibbs, and then you're also going to take Montgomery and Judkins, that's just got to be your RB room. Like, you're spending so much capital there. And then he took Concepcion very early, took Higgins early, took Marks early. I mean, he fucked this whole draft, man. That guy in the one hole. Sorry if he's watching this, because those guys get real mad if you say they're not good at drafting, but like, for the love of God, man. Read something, watch something. Pick 8 drafting a shitter. This is a good room. Love for these shitter drafters to be streamers and react to you like to the TSR. That would be funny. I mean, honestly, anybody could be streaming best ball at this point. I wouldn't know. All right. Pick coming up here. I mean, honestly, I feel like we might have the luxury of going Geno. Not gonna. So wants me to go K. Dotton here. I was actually thinking Freiermuth. I would have liked to have gotten Freiermuth there. I think that he's going under the radar as like, he's tight end 1, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to like throw the ball downfield for, hold the ball and wait for guys to get open down there. So like Freiermuth's going to get a lot of targets. But K. Dotton here, he is a starting tight end as well. That's fine. I feel like the guys that I've been sleeping on that I want to get more of that like are starters and are just cheap. Dulcich for Miami. I mean, I'm a believer. I'll say like one of the things that's popping in my projections for week 1, Malik Willis was so good last year filling in for Jordan Love. Like Miami's only implied, I think, for 18 points week 1. But like Malik Willis, because of the rushing he did and like how well he passed, my projections for him are coming up crazy high. So like Dulcich, he might be like functionally your wide receiver 1. Like I think that Washington's pretty good in terms of like the ability to command targets. He did it very well at Virginia. And then at some point when Chris Bell plays, he's not going to play anytime soon because he tore his ACL too late last year. Like there'll be other guys who come in, but to start the year, like Dulcich might get a lot more work than you would think. But anyway, that's just something that came up in mind here because Freeman's one of those guys. Freeman's one of those guys where it's like he's free and he's a starter, and Johnny Smith is gone, and like he's probably gonna get a shitload of work. But Jaden Daniels at QB here with Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. We got Garrett Wilson as well, Brian Thomas, Kyle Pitts to start off the tight ends. DeAndre Swift as well, like getting him as RB3. Feel good about my RB room, even though we only have 4 so far. Alec Pierce got a nice discount on him. Bo Nix, a little discount on him. Romeo Dobbs, Chika Okonkwo, Daniel Jones, Tyjae Spears, Ryan Flournoy, Kayshon Boutte, K. Dotton. So a 3-4-7-3 build right now. Definitely want to get at least one more RB in, but I think, frankly, we are in luxury pick mode these last 3 rounds. Besides that one more RB. Very happy to see him. And this is a good showing of force here by both me and the BBC. Poor Andrew thinks he tanked his draft in the second half. Let's see what you do. Tight end capital's a little light. I think receiver's okay. RB's okay. I don't think you tanked it that bad. Probably want one more QB, given that it's 20 rounds on DK. I think you're being harsh on yourself, though. For a guy Andrew here who's in the 6 hole. We got a pick coming up here, guys. We'll get through the slog of rounds 18 through 20 here on DK. I'm actually curious to see what it's going to recommend for me here because these rounds are fucking dire on DraftKings. Did creating the BBC help you see drafts better? Yes and no. So the process of setting it up, yes, because it was really working hand in hand with Claude, giving it sources that I thought were really important for it to incorporate and then building a baseline with it. I'm on the clock here, and I'm probably just take Mike Washington, get that 5th RB in. Mike Washington's projections look too good. Troy Franklin wants me to take here, but we're good at receiver. I don't need Troy Franklin. Still love my boy Troy. Mike Washington adds more value as your somehow clear backup in Vegas. But I think the biggest thing that makes me better at drafting now is just working with the sim over and over again. It's like what Robert Deterred was saying earlier, where like the sim does kind of get built in your brain when you see how it operates over and over again. There's still some times where I do things to put the sim in an uncomfortable spot. And I know I'm doing that. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a minus EV draft. And it does end up being that way. I think it's the act of doing drafts and having a mathematical thing that's checking me along the way for my own instincts. It's been really helpful. So, but yeah, anytime you build a tool, at least to me, you should know it inside and out. So I definitely did more time with data. I've honestly learned the most about MLB DFS though. If I'm being real about it, because that's difficult. That's really hard. Best ball, I think it was pretty easy to build a tool like this and have it be good. I've been anti-Keenan Allen this year. You guys know last year, One of those guys that I just did not get a lot, or I got a lot of rather. This year, I'm not going crazy on him because I just don't think he's going to sign anywhere. Because the big thing with him last year was like he didn't want to leave the West Coast, didn't want to go anywhere else. He played in Chicago for the year and just didn't see the reason to go anywhere else. Any job opportunities are not in the West Coast anymore. They are all gone. So I don't think he goes to Indiana because he doesn't want, or Indianapolis rather, because he doesn't want to go to Indiana. So like anywhere that's a logical fit, I just don't think he's going to go to. So I am not taking Keenan Allen this year. I was taking Diggs, took Debo as well. Now the price tags are up enough where I'm not sure how much I'll be there. But would love to be with the field on those guys. For Keenan Allen, I'm not taking shares. I think he was good last year, but he was good in a specific way that they gave him so many targets. Like he doesn't have to be that good or get, that involved even. Am I crazy to think that Darnell Washington with that new contract is as, if not more involved than Muth? He's not a pass catcher. You could run the chance, I suppose, that Mike McCarthy sees him differently than Mike Tomlin did, and that's certainly a possibility. And I do think he showed some, target earning juice at Georgia. So I wouldn't fully sleep on it, but I think Freiermuth is much more of an Aaron Rodgers kind of tight end, and Washington's an elite blocker, and then he's getting paid like one. He's getting paid like Josh Oliver, which is what he is. Does Imprint seeing BBC likely called out the biggest flaw in my best ball game? Inadequate prioritization on the onesies. Yep, same thing. I mean, you guys, last year I was drafting a lot of late QBs. I would take 3, and I'd take 3 at tight end. But it was all late stuff. And I survived and had, 2 top 100 teams last year in best ball. So I do think the principles held steady that you can do that. But you're making it harder on yourself to not get QB in that first 6, 7 rounds, to not get tight end in your first 10 rounds. It just gets harder for you to build a good team. I'll just have my 2 QBs. I think the other options are a 0 for me. At this point, QB, you're not getting anything. But taking a Geno just for the projection, taking a Mendoza for the theoretical projection, I would do that every time. And a 20-round draft, it just costs you so little. This guy goes, so actually a couple guys I want to point out late. Torrey Horton should be healthy here. Cooper Kupp has apparently looked good in camp so far, but he is old. Torrey Horton is a guy, plus EPA guy, good target earner. I think there's opportunity there if you see any regression from JSN. Jacoby Lane has had some good camps so far, though it's come with Zay Flowers being banged up / not practicing because of his new contract stuff. But Lane, I think, very draftable now. Surratt's the more compelling prospect to me, I think, but Lane's had better camp reports. Surratt probably going to be in that Tez Walker kind of situation where he'll get out there, maybe catch a touchdown or 2 this year, but I don't think you expect it. Devon Vele, though, I will highlight, love getting him in round 18 when receiver gets really bled out. I think he's still, he's wide receiver 3 for New Orleans. Like, he's going to be out there. He's not as good as Jordan Tyson, not as good as Olave, who just got big paid. But they went out of their way to get him. I think he'll be in the mix and got a big body to block and stuff. Like, he's another guy that could be out there enough to pay off. So he would have been a guy I would have loved to have taken here in round 20. But I also take him a good amount, round 18 on Underdog when there's nothing else left. When Ted Hurst is gone, sometimes when Horton's gone, but I'll take him over Horton sometimes. All right, we got picks coming up here, and it is fucking DOA time for sure. These last 2 rounds on DK, if I were to give DK 2 critiques, it would be, let's do 2 less rounds and let's do 20-second clocks. I think let's do that. Let's make it Underdog full. But keep PPR. I'd be happy to keep PPR. Love regular DK scoring. But man, these last 2 rounds are brutal. It's like playing playoff best ball. Like when we had to do the 20 rounds for that shit on DK. Oof. It's tightened this game up. Always a great pick with Tyson and Olave injury concerns. That's also true. Those guys definitely, some contingent value could come up. I want to see if this guy's available here. All right, Roman Wilson's still available. I feel like he should get drafted on DK at least. Good camp from him so far, playing ahead of Jeremy Bernard, even though they're not the same kind of player at all. So Roman Wilson going to round out my receiver room. Final draft capital here. Looks good to me. And then we got, and also when you do leave a filter like this, the sim will just sim whatever's on the screen. So keep that in mind. Sorry, Roman Hemby's coming up. We got Jane Daniels in our final team here on DK. Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas, Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift, Alec Pierce, Bo Nix, Romeo Dobbs, Chika Okonkwo, Daniel Jones, Tyjae Spears, Ryan Flournoy, Kayshon Boutte, Cade Otton, Mike Washington here, who is a popular pick for me on both sites, Ted Hurst, and Roman Wilson rounds it out. Thank you, Andrew. Great draft for you. Appreciate you being here. All right. What do we think? Should I just leave it as this for now? Do we want to do one more on Underdog? I feel like if you guys are going to draft with me, I don't know that I need to do one more on stream. Maybe keep the video tighter. I mean, I'm going to do an underdog draft either way, right? So let's do it. One more underdog draft. Because I did promise I would do one more. I don't think two more is going to happen, though. DK just takes too fucking long. So let's get this done. One more BBM on here. I'm going to try to get it going. I'm also going to see if I can grade this DK draft on my laptop. See if I get a BBM DB grade. Oh, yeah, let's do another on DK. Fuck you. We're back to me hating DraftKings again. It takes too long, man. I don't want to sit here for another hour. 30-minute drafts are like my sweet spot, man. That is where my attention span is peak. It's where I'm thriving. Fucking don't need it. Don't need it right now on stream. But one more spot here for BBM. It's filling as we speak. Draft number 61 for me in BBM. Trying to get to the halfway point. I'm sure I cannot handle BBC for another hour. It's I'm all filled up. I'm sore. I'm leaking. One more DK. No. No. If Robert Griffin III had super chatted me $25, then I would have done another one. But no. Make everybody on DraftKings, if they all promise to do their clicks in under 20 seconds for me, then I'll do another DraftKings. No, underdog. Let's go to underdog. Picking the not even remotely influential 12 hole here. Matt Murphy, LOL in this one. I think he watches streams sometimes. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I know that name. All right, so let me update the BBC as well. Just real fast, show you guys how you expand this. Oh, they have a $7 one? Oh, well, that would have been good to know. But I don't want to put in entries for anything that's not the DK Milly, because like at this point, if I'm putting anything in, it has to be the DK Milly. Here we go. So this is how you also update if I just want to update only Best Ball Mania and not the litany of other ones I have. There's probably ways to do this faster, but it works well, so I'm not going to update it this season. Scrape selected, what it does is go through automatically. You can just walk away, but it'll do it for yourself here. Draft. You're too late now. Fuck, if he gave me the money. All right, fine. You know what? I'll show you guys the power of the BBC. This is loading all these drafts in real time. I'm going to do a DK Milly and an Underdog Best Ball Mania at the same time. All right? So I'm loading it here in parallel on DraftKings. Share the tab. Best Ball Millionaire. Here we go. Not going to use my profit boost token again. We're going to go back and forth here. I know this process is going to go, guys. We got 9 spots open on DK if you want to draft with me. We're going to do both, but you guys got me. You got me. I'm doing 2 drafts. 2 drafts at the same time. Let's do it. It's going to be a hellscape for me. All right, underdog here. Let's see it. We're going to have 2 picks in a row, which will be helpful, I think, in terms of spacing this out. Taking up all the clock. No, don't take all the clock or the cock. Keep them both. Yeah, thank you. You're my little pay pig, Robert Griffin III. And I appreciate that. If I were an OnlyFans girl, Robert Griffin III would be my sweet one. I'd be hitting him all the DMs. You're not gonna believe how hot I felt this morning. I would not be good at my own OnlyFans DMs. I think that's how I'm talking. All right, all my exposures are in here. All right, so Ashton Genty. Well, I'm going to actually refresh this to make sure it's fully right. But I'm going to take Genty with the first selection here. And what's the combinatorial ownership? All right. I've got a lot of Barkley with Genty. Less Hampton. Who's the sim think is better? Oh, I got no Bowers with Genty. Oh, let's do the Raiders. Let's just do the Raiders. How could that go wrong? Yeah, Brock Bowers, come on down. Genty, Bowers, start here. Do not have this combo yet. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. DraftKings, draft starting over here, it looks like. I am also picking somewhere not influential. Are you fucking kidding me? 2 12-hole drafts? I don't deserve this. Well, we're going to see, guys, how you draft in the 12-hole on 2 different sites. Should I change the YouTube video title to this? Here's how you handle the 12 spot in both rooms. Bowers, Genty in both. Here we go. 2-hole for Wildcat football. There you go. Winner's in the 11. That's our guy, Robert Griffin III here. Our guy, OMG, is in the 8 hole. You guys get my sweetie V today, all of you. All right. Underdog draft still going here. I'll go to the board view, I guess. How do I produce this, guys? I don't, I don't fucking know. We still got a minute on DK, though. DK's a free roll, but not really after YouTube. Yeah, YouTube takes half. So that's... I appreciate you acknowledging that, though, Andrew Nolan. That's right. I should have charged Robert Griffin III $50. So that way the draft is fully covered. But it's okay. We're in half C's. I think that's fine. Is it in yet? That's what that's what the draft is when you're splitting half the entry fee. But again, I would like to get 50 in on DK at least. I'd like to get a Sam Sherman haul on DK this year because it is $3 million up top. Like, that is the biggest prize pool you can get. Our guy Jake DeWitt in third for a real friends and family draft on DK. So that's fine. I'm glad to give you guys friends and family, if nothing else. DK draft has 20 seconds left before it starts. Does Robert Griffin III get equity in the team? No, no chance. No chance. you gotta be on stream. He'll win his money off the best ball champion itself. That's my hope. Because he's been one of the earliest adopters. Him, Emo Cowboy, OMG. Those guys win this year. I'm not going to take credit for it. I expect tips. We're all going to get rich off best ball this year. That's how it's going to go. All right, DK draft starting here. I'm going to try to keep an eye on them both. I don't know how I'm going to do it, guys. Maybe I can I share my whole screen? That might be the move. All right. Okay, how do I do this? Here, share, all right, share screen, entire screen. All right. Let's shrink that. Okay, we're not on the clock here yet. Can I shrink this too? How small can it go? This is how small they both can go. I can't see anything. Because they're both fucking 12 holes. I can't see this in the way that would be helpful. All right, what if I... Oh, fuck. Let's go down this way. And up this way. I'm on the clock. Fuck, no, you shrink. Okay. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Sim it out, please. Oh, I can't even see the fucking sim. Ah. Hold on. All right. Jalen Waddle. What? Ah! Okay, I got Jalen Waddle in. I got Jalen Waddle in. This is not good. This is not helpful. All right. Tet McMillan, sure. The fucking underdog broke the screen, too. That's not helpful at all. All right. This is my hell. Why do I have to do this? All right. I find ways to make drafts unenjoyable for myself over and over again. All right. We got Genty and Saquon Barkley on DK. That's fine. Good. We're good. We got our picks done. That did not work. We learned that is not the process that's going to function here. Let's go back over here. I'm sorry if you can't see my picks, guys. This just got a lot more difficult for no particular reason. Okay. I'm also going to go back to sharing a window. Here's my MLB tabs from earlier today. And let's go here. All right. We're good. We're good. And then this shit's broken over here on Underdog. Okay, now we got this right. Now we're back to our usual size. We are on stream. So you can see the football in the cup. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back on track. Fucking A. Draft boards on both screens. We got 17 picks on DraftKings. An ungodly amount on Underdog as well. They can't even be separate. Like, it couldn't be opposite sides of the fucking board. Unbelievable. Did not want to do Genty and Bowers on both. That's true. Do what I was doing before, but flip. I don't think that works. Now I'm panicked because that was not a good time. Getting a workout in and not moving an inch. Yeah, I'm going to fucking be breathing heavily here from clicking buttons. Thank God the mouse's magic here. If I had the mouse that stopped working well, I would really be in dire straits here. But we got a Waddle, McMillan, Genty, Bowers team. I got to say, Waddle, I have no clue why he came up for me here. But I think it was because the screen being missized, if I had to guess. Here on DraftKings, still got a ton of picks left, but it is a Genty Barkley start on here. And we will hopefully load up on receiver in the coming picks there. Unbelievable. Can't believe I have to fucking wait forever to make picks on both sites. When in doubt, I'm going to get the worst possible outcome of doing 2 drafts at once. That is how it goes on stream. Nothing will ever top that. If you ever want to see the peak insane, and I don't know that anybody would want to watch an 8-hour video multiple years ago. The most insane I've ever been driven on a stream was the DK 8-hour draft, because everything went wrong in that draft, and DK's site was so glitchy at that point as well. That was the worst time I can really recall. And it seems like we're going to come up on the clock at the exact same time for these picks again here somehow. We're up in 7 picks on DraftKings. You can see the board here. And we are up in 6 picks here on Underdog. All right, let's see how this goes. What is the BBC one on here? Lamar. I think I did. No, I think it was a different stream. I did draft a winner finalist on stream, but I don't think it was the 8-hour. I don't know. Time flies. As for fast clicks on DK, now it's a problem. It's true. I can't win either way. I'll never be happy. That's also that's also the other side of it. All right, we got Waddle and Tet. Going to get some more receiver coming up here because the Genty capital was pretty heavy to start. Carnell Tate's given me. I feel like Romo Dunze is usually my Sims preference here. So that'll be the first pick. And I'm low on Jadarian Price. I wouldn't mind getting him here. Wants me to go QB. I'm going to go Jadarian Price. I'm going to overrule the sim here. Again, I have autonomy. And our pick is coming up on DK. What's going on this side of the aisle here? We need receivers. So Lad McConkey being one of them, yes. Garrett Wilson projects the best out of this group of receivers in my data. That's why he's coming up. But I am going to stay ADP disciplined and just go T. Higgins here. The win rate's not that much higher at 18.3%. So I am going to go T. Higgins, who has a 14.5% win rate here. So our team so far, more balanced on DraftKings right now with Genty and Saquon Barkley, then Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, and that's how it's looking right now on DraftKings. On Underdog, we have Ashton Genty and Jadarian Price with Jalen Waddle, Tet McMillan, and Carnell Tate. So going young at receiver with McMillan and Tate. And then Brock Bowers as well, who, you know, correlates with Ashton Genty. That's what he's got going for him. Not sure I love these teams yet, but I don't hate him either. And Jadarian Price is one where I was low on him the entire process this offseason. The lack of pass catching ability he showed in college really does scare me. But he's getting used a lot in pass catching in practice, which isn't everything, but it is something. Still think there's a decent chance that Helani ends up being your third down back, the guy they trust in high leverage spots. Still Charbonnet can get back out there and be full health. But Price, man, like he fits the profile. He's got juice. He avoided tackles in college. In a lot of respects, he was as good as Jeremiah Love. Not in the pass game though, because he wasn't involved at all. But in terms of the rushing stuff, his EPA is not that far off. His avoided tackles aren't that far off. Caveat would be that's also what made me think that Roschon Johnson had a chance to be as good as Bijan Robinson, because at Texas, they had very similar numbers as well. Doesn't mean it's going to hold in the NFL. But I think for Price, with his price tag, the draft capital he got, I think unfortunately he is a guy where I want to not be too low on him. And unfortunately, the ADP is starting to come up a little bit. But I do think Price is one of those guys. The priors have changed a little bit for me. All right, our DK draft over here. Let's see how this is shaping up. Still got 10 picks before we go here. But again, balanced build for me on DK. The room here, mostly sane. There are a guy OMG going heavy on RB to start. And Underdog, somehow the DK draft is behind Underdog. So Underdog, we're making fast, or DK's making fast clicks. Underdog, we're making slow clicks on a 20-second clock. The goal, clearly, of both drafts, of everybody involved, is to prank me, Truman Show style. So I'm in a hellscape regardless. But let's keep the DK draft open for now. I'm going to monitor Underdog in this tab. Oh, boy. Well, guys, the chaos that I'm subjected to, presented by Snap Stats today. First AI company dedicated to sports betting and fantasy. Whether you are playing DFS, playing best ball, playing redraft, especially right now, lots of stuff customized, built for you guys over at Snap Stats. Check it out. It's a great site to check out. $10 for your first month over at Snap Stats. Use the promo code SplashPlay at trysnap.ai. And of course, it's promo code SplashPlay. Link in the description too if you want to make it really easy on yourself to get over there. But check them out. Really, they are helping me put on the shows. I would, probably be doing less best ball streams even than I have done if not for them. So check it out. All right. So we are coming up on the clock here on DK for 2 picks. Underdogs, somehow we are still 4 picks away, which I don't get how that's possible. But here we go. Christian Watson going to be my click, I think. Oh, Joe Burrow coming up as well. But I want Watson because we need more at receiver. Joe Burrow is what it wants, and I will give it Joe Burrow because we have T. Higgins. So on DK, our start, Joe Burrow, Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, with Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, and Christian Watson. That's a respectable RB room for starting with, or receiver room rather, for starting with 2 RBs. So I'm cool with that. And we're coming up on Underdog right now. We do not have a QB, but a 0-2-3-1 build. Dak Prescott coming up because we do need QB, but I am going to eschew that for now, I think. And I'm actually going to absorb Alec Pierce here. Let's get some more AFC South. No, it'll just queue out. And let's run the sim when this gets added to my team. All right, so we're getting there at receiver. It still wants me to take Dak just to get those projection points in. But I like these RBs enough as well. Fuck. Hate to ignore the sim, but I'm going to go Jonathan Brooks, so I'm trying to get more exposure to. There have been times with Chuba Hubbard that you can get him at pick 100 plus. I have gotten him at that pick lately. But I think at this point, we can put QB a little bit further down the chain. I'm hoping. So the team right now, an Underdog, Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks. So a different look than we had on DraftKings for sure. Jalen Waddle, I really don't have a lot of exposure to, only 3% across everything. Not the biggest fan in the world. Ted McMillan, Cardinal Tate, Alec Pierce, definitely a different receiver room than I usually get here. Brock Bowers as our tight end. So we are good at tight end for a little bit. Receiver, we are behind the 8 ball. RB, we're now, I think, right with the 8 ball. QB, we are also behind the 8 ball. Let's go to the board view here. Let's see how DK is coming along over here. DK also refreshes the board view every time I go back to the tab. All right, here we go. And on DK, we got a whole turn to go still. So we're chilling. We have very relaxing breaks in between, incredibly stressful turns. I am in your BBM. Yes, I'm in both. But yes, Matt. Matt, I called you out. In fact, I know you sometimes watch the stream, but there you go. But yeah, I'm in a BBM right now and a DK Milly is what we were doing on stream today. Here's a BBM. There you are, Matt. Sure, guy, OG Mans fan. Appreciate him a bunch. One of my longest term supporters. Guys, squeeze some EV out of the stuff I've offered to in the past, which I'm always glad to see as well. But appreciate you a bunch, Jason. And shout out to all you guys watching live. And all of you watch after the fact as well. I think I got a good thumbnail today. Good, real simple fucking basic bitch thumbnail. Real easy title as well. We're building some optimal teams. Again, if you're just tuning in, let me see actually if BBMDB updated for me. I didn't pull in my Underdog draft, which I should have done. Quick sync. So let's see. Oh, look, here we go. It actually did grade out the DK Milly team. So it thinks that team is worth $45 in EV with 35% expected advance rate. That's not bad. That was the last team that we just had. My team's second best here. Hey, Drewster, I fucking told you drafted a good team. Thinks that our guy Andrew built the best team. So there we go. BBMDB looking okay. But again, I really recommend, just update BBMDB every time you do a draft. Take a look, see what it thinks you did. If you disagree with it, then try to figure out why it graded out your draft poorly. And if you agree with it, then probably even easier. All right, we're coming up on the clock in both, of course, because life is a hellscape. Let's get DK out of the way. We need more at receiver here desperately, it seems. Chris Godwin goes. Would have liked to have gotten him. Makai Lemon hanging on here, it seems. I like Makai, but I would like to get more Josh Downs on DK, so I'm going to do that with one of the picks. I'm also on the clock on Underdog here. Fuck me. Send this out. Kyler Murray, okay. Jordan Love, okay. I'm just going to take it. Back to DK here. Let's sim this out. 10 seconds left. Thankfully, the sim runs fast. Sam Laporta is the pick. I have no visibility into what I'm doing. But we got it done. That was not ideal timing for those picks to come up. On DK, our team here, we are mostly just letting the sim take the wheel. We got Joe Burrow, Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, the 2 RB start. Then Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Josh Downs, Sam Laporta. I did go up and get Josh Downs. I just feel a little bit better about his ADP right now than Makai Lemon, who I think is going to come down. Don't love that he's got a second hamstring injury of the offseason either. But I think the team is grading out okay for me so far. Here on Underdog, BBC Panic made us take 2 QBs unstacked, but we were behind the 8 ball on a QB pretty meaningfully. So here on Underdog, we have Kyler Murray and Jordan Love with Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks. Still behind on wide receiver for sure with Waddle, Tet McMillan, Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce, and then Brock Bowers. The base of the sim is going to hate you waiting on QB, and this QB room would obviously be like a Bryce Young, Cam Ward, Daniel Jones room. So it wants you to get better projection points in. So that's why we are taking Kyler and Jordan Love here and just hoping for the best. But in reality, that's one of the biggest things a sim will show you that you probably don't want to know yourself, or you would love to believe the opposite. But in reality, you just need to take QB at a certain point or else your team's not going to look good. And that's what it is. Because QBs at every level, the projection points drop and drop and drop. And if you don't get your QB in a certain point, you're just not going to hit enough draft capital at QB, basically. So that's how the teams look. Got a little bit of breathing room here on DraftKings for now. We are here with 15 picks to go. On Underdog, we have a few less. So hopefully Underdog will be first. Jesus. Your team Mog, says Matt Murphy. It's a good team. Building structurally the way that a sim would want you to. So I see no objections there. Oh, whew. I feel like my DK team I like a little bit more than the Underdog team right now. But that's okay. They can't all be winners, you know? It's true of dating. True of all walks of life. Sim is your brain, all right. Yeah, I'm like, again, I look at BBMDB too much, I admit that. But like to see the EV going up with each draft, where now I have theoretically $1,400 in EV, just scratches the right itch. And also too, the expected advance rate going up 29% compared to 20.5. Like BBMDB thinks that I have a 0.3, I guess total of 0.4% chance of finishing under average in advance rate. Obviously that would be the absolute dream. We're coming up on the clock on Underdog here as I'm masturbating to BBMDB. I think roster baiting would be more of the term, but really both. Really both. All right, 2, 3, 4, 1 build here on Underdog. 2 picks coming up for me. Rashid Shaheed, think makes sense here. Week 17 correlation. Yep. Good to go. Dalton Kincaid coming up. I don't think we need tight end at this point. I love Keaton Mitchell, and I'm going to go Keaton Mitchell's way. We took Brock Bowers, spent early draft capital on him ahead of ADP. We're not going to do that. We're going to go Keaton Mitchell. So 2, 4, 5, 1 build here. Not up on DraftKings yet. We got Kyler Murray and Jordan Love with Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks, and Keaton Mitchell, who's getting involved in the pass game in camp, which is a really good sign for him. Jalen Waddle, and a bad sign probably for Marion Hampton. Jalen Waddle, Tet McMillan, Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce, Rashid Shaheed, and Brock Bowers. That's tight end. Our very, very elite tight end. And now we are on the clock on DraftKings here. Come on, Magic Mouse. All right, there we go. Sim it out here. Xavier Worthy coming up. We're a little bit light at receiver. I can live with that. One more sim. Wants the Jordan Love stack. We only have one QB. So that makes sense. Jordan Love, you are good. Probably should have taken Matthew Golden there, but he does project a little bit less well in the sim. So I think if I were going to go with Love, probably should have gone Golden there. But our team so far on DK, you've seen the underdog team. Here on DK, we have Joe Burrow, Ashton Jeanty, Saquon Barkley, with Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson. Again, only 2 RBs so far because we took them both so high. Really want to give those guys a room to breathe. Also, I realize I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry. Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson with Sam Laporta, Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, and then Jordan Love. I think DK team a little more optimal if I'm going to choose. But the underdog one is doing what it's supposed to. So really not mad at either right now. I don't know which draft board to show you guys. Here's the underdog one. I did mention Diggs, I think, is probably a top 100 pick on both sites, but he's still going, 100 to 110 enough that maybe he won't get all the way to 90 to 100. But in my opinion, he should be top 100. But I also think the Commanders will be better this year. And I don't think he got enough money that he should come up he shouldn't flatten out with McLaurin. And I think people might want to do that. But if I had to guess, top 100 is about right. All right. Here's the DK draft board for people following along here. I don't know, you possibly could. But I know people like to see draft boards, so I'm giving it to you. All right. Underdog's going to come up faster, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Favorite tight end at cost? Probably Fannin. The Fannin's now more expensive than where I got most of my exposure there at pick 110. But that range to me, I've said it on stream, the biggest takeaway from these sims this year for me has been you want to make sure you're getting tight end in that Laporta to Kelsey. I don't know where it ends. The likely range, you got to get 2 guys in there most likely, or else the rooms are not as good as they should be. And that's a big change for me for last year. I would take rooms tight end around 15, 16, 17, 18 kind of stuff. So I think that's the biggest change, but yeah, Fannin, I think there's a chance they build that entire offense out of targets to him. Obviously, Concepcion and Boston, I do think are coming along pretty well. I got a lot of Boston, would like to get with the field on Concepcion, but I think for Fannin, you're talking about a tight end whisperer coach, now getting a tight end who's been an elite target earner everywhere he's played, in every situation. QB could hold that team back, obviously, and should hold them back to some extent. But, it's any of those guys. Pitts, too, I also like. Fannin, I like. Just got to get tight end in there. All right, we got a pick coming up here. DK, we're also coming up fast, so let's try to make these underdog picks in a timely fashion here. I feel like the guys in front of me on DraftKings go fast, and this guy takes the entire fucking clock on underdog every time. It's not a winning combination. We have a little bit of a fall on Jalen McMillan, which I could live with. But Oronde Gadsden coming up here is tight end 2. I like that. Mike McDaniel really squeezed a lot out of easy touchdowns for tight ends. Jalen McMillan falling behind Juwan Jennings here a little bit. I'm going to go Jalen McMillan. Knees banged up. Not great, but he'll play again. We're on the clock here on DraftKings again. Thankfully going to get him out in time. Best Ball Champion sim shit real fast, which is the best part of it. Wants us to get the third RB in here with Chris Rodriguez. Taking Shakir as one of these picks instead. I feel like I'm still a little bit behind at receiver, and I would like to get caught up there. And now it thinks we should go tight end with Mark Andrews. Yeah, I don't think it's the time for Chris Rodriguez here. I don't know why that was the first move it made. But I'm going to go Mark Andrews here. Jake Ferguson have also been fine. But now I think we're good at tight end. If not good, pretty much there. Yeah, we're good at tight end. So we got Joe Burrow on this team. Ashton Jeanty, Saquon Barkley. Again, 2 early RBs, really dialing off RB for a while. I'm sure some people feel like I'm holding off too much here, but the reality is if Jeanty and Barkley don't pay off at ADP at where I took them, the team is so fucked. So you kind of want to let them speak for themselves, breathe, whatever you want to call it. But Jeanty and Barkley with Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Sam Laporta, Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Jordan Love, Mark Andrews. So we are stacked up. We got a 2-2-6-2. Again, got late at receiver, but we're making it up with volume. So I think this is grading out how it should. It's definitely not optimal, though, to go 2 RBs to start, but obviously when you're picking out the 1-2 turn, that's going to be the most logical to take most times on both sites. All right, underdog here. Where are we at? Underdog going slow right now. Let me give the team on Underdog a read as well to recalibrate myself as much as anything. 2-4-6-2 with Kyler Murray and Jordan Love. Uncorrelated right now, but again, which needed the QB protection points. Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks, Keaton Mitchell. All my RBs have some sort of inter-team correlation. Jalen Waddle, Tet McMillan, Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen McMillan. I'm taking the 10-pick discount on McMillan. Doesn't seem like he's seriously hurt. And because he hurt his knee, people only saw the headline. They missed the fact that he's already out there in shorts doing stuff on the side anyway. So he should be back in pretty soon, you would think. And then Brock Bowers, Oronde Gadsden. Really don't think you needed the second tight end this early, but I like Gadsden. I'm trying to get more of him because really in every situation, I mean, last year with Darren Waller, the year before that with Jonnu Smith, if there's a tight end that can be used, Mike McDaniel finds a way to use him. Oronde Gadsden is a tight end that's dying to be used, I think. So I really like all these guys. I mean, I think the Chargers is one of those teams where the more the merrier from that team. Let's go to the big board view here. Let's look at a couple picks before we come up. On DraftKings, got a little more breathing room. So hopefully Underdog goes fast, DraftKings goes slow. Whew. Got to work hard to get these, get these best ball drafts in. I'll tell you what, though, I will not do 2 drafts on different platforms at the same time. I feel like that's, for some reason, that's like a little more brain function than I would like to have required, even with the sim doing most of my thinking for me. Here's how the DK board looks right now. 6 picks before we're up. Come on, Underdog guy. Come on, W North. You're the one holding us back every fucking time, man. Make that click. He will not make that click. You're no, there we go. You gave me 5 seconds extra. Or Fernando Mendoza coming up here. Again, we are light at QB, and we have the Brock Bowers play. I'm cool with that being one of these clicks here. Tank Dell, Antonio Williams on the way down. 3rd tight end we just don't need. 5th RB, though. Brian Robinson, bit of a tier break here. But I'm going to go Tank Dell. I can live with that. 7th receiver in. Oh, my alarm's going off. There we go. Good stuff. On the clock on DraftKings here. Fuck me. Sim moving fast. Going Tyjae, huh? I'm going to go Pacheco instead. I feel like you get some leverage on Gibbs. You can live with that. 4th RB. You know, my projection's clearly favoring Tyjae. Kamara, though, is the top ADP pick. I think Gadsden as tight end 3 would not be bad either. But I'm going to go Kamara. Just feel like RB is going to get pretty gross soon. I think we're okay at receiver. All right, so on DK right now, our team. Burrow, Genty, Barkley, Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Sam Laporta, our tight end, who hopefully will be better this year. Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Love, Khalil Shakir, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Pacheco, Alvin Kamara. I think we need the 3rd tight end still. Probably going to take a 5th RB no matter what, even though we have more than enough capital at RB at this point. I mean, you can see here, we're over the 155 threshold. And on Underdog, our team, looking more like this with Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Fernando Mendoza. I think we're a little bit light on the QB draft capital. Yeah, we're way light on QB draft capital. I did not do well at QB in this draft. Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks, Keaton Mitchell. A receiver, Jalen Waddle, Tet McMillan, Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen McMillan, and Tank Dell. And the tight end, Brock Bowers and Gadsden. I got to say, this is one of my least favorite BBM drafts in a while. I just don't like the way it worked out. Went way early on Brock Bowers. Obviously, he wasn't going to come back, so I think that combo's okay. But I hate Waddle as a player, so I think that's sort of impacting me here. Really confused why he came up in the sim today. But he did. We got 10 picks to go here on Underdog. All right. Last 2 rounds coming up. Should have stuff with one underdog draft. I do, but I always bend to the will of the people. You guys know that. I mean, honestly, for even the year, like I know I didn't do a lot of best ball drafts this year, but the amount I did show up is mostly because I'm like, I don't want to let these guys down. I got to give them like one a week or one every other week, or when it was like the real dead part of the season, one a month. You know, I very much feel a sense of obligation to you guys and try to give you guys something useful if I can. All right, we got basically the same spacing on DK and Underdog, so let us pray here. Boy, we'll be done on Underdog after these last 2 picks, so we can focus on DK for the horrible last couple rounds on there. My boy Marshawn Lloyd back in round 16. Proud of him, but also wish he was free. Josh Jacobs being hurt. Marshawn Lloyd not being hurt, though. Probably the best run out for Marshawn you could hope for if he is ever going to be good. I could not go against my word after the donation. That's true. If somebody gives me money and it's one of our loyalists or most loyal guys in the community, then I will be here drafting miserably, question mark, perhaps. I'll do it. But honestly, at this point, I just need to get the entries in, so it's all right. Jacobs has a tender groin, I believe. I mean, it's groin. I don't know if it's tender, but like that's why he's not practicing. 3-4-7-2. So soft tissue stuff, never great. They want me to take Mike Washington here, even though he does obviously eat into Genty theoretically. But I'm going to go Sean Tucker. Happy to get a little more Sean Tucker at this point after ADP. And then we're still light at receiver. And Ted Hurst, he's still here in round 18. I can do that. Done and done. DK, we're on the clock. Back to this tab here. I'll give a final read to the underdog team in a moment. Ooh, Sampson here feels kind of nice. Let's do that. Dylan Sampson is one of those picks. You can see Ricky Pearsall on top of the draft board, but he's not in the sim. Kayshon Boutte is, and let's go his way. So we are overloaded at RB capital. We got Joe Burrow, Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, with Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Sam Laporta, Josh Downs as our flex right now, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Love, Khalil Shakir, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Pacheco, Alvin Kamara, Dylan Sampson, and Kayshon Boutte. 4 rounds left. I feel like we're in luxury mode. Would have liked to have gotten a third QB, and I don't think we're going to have one that's draftable coming up. That's the one biggest critique I have. I think we got our RBs where we needed to, got our receivers where we needed to. On Underdog, the final team. The draft's still finishing up here, but I've been done for a while. That's what she said. Never. We got Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Fernando Mendoza. At RB, Ashton Genty, Jadarian Price, Jonathan Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, Sean Tucker. I think this RB room, it definitely fits like the draft capital, but Genty's got to carry a lot of water for this team. And frankly, so does Price. Like, it's a risky RB room. Receiver, Jalen Waddle, Ted McMillan, Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen McMillan, Tank Dell, and Ted Hurst. I like it. McMillan and Hurst think they're competing for the same set of snaps and opportunity. And tight end, Brock Bowers and Oronde Gadsden. In my tight end room is good. Like those two are great, obviously. I think to pair together. Receiver room needed more. RB room, I needed more like actual projection, I think. And then QB, same thing. Just the team just did not work as well as it could have. I think the structure is still good enough. The team's not going to be DOA or anything, but that could have been better. If I'm going to give myself flowers and shit, got to give myself demerits the same way. And I'd give myself a demerit for that team. I think that could have been better. Yeah, Underdog Draft is a young team. It is. But I mean, you know, they can hit. It's guys in year 2, year 3, some year 1, but they can pay off. But I think it's like you'd never want to give yourself a narrow needle to thread, I think, generally. Obviously, you know, best ball GPPs, any GPP, the needle can get a little bit thinner. But I think that seems a little bit tough. Seeing here if BBMDB is pulling in my others. BBMDB, the one caveat I'll give you guys, if you use that, sometimes it does come in delayed with your teams. Like it'll update that night at some point, but it won't necessarily update right away. So something to keep in mind there if you are missing teams, because I think I'm still down like 2 BBM teams in here. Because I drafted 3 this morning and I'm missing least one. The last ad, though, for the Best Ball Champion tool before the picks come up here. Again, this is what my best ball portfolio looks like. Underdog and DraftKings drafts. Right now, the fact that the EV is $1,000 higher than my entry fees, I'm really excited about that. Does it mean that I've won $1,000? No, but it does mean that my entries are getting in as good as possible. You can see here the ones in particular. In Best Ball Mania is my highest EV right now in Underdog. The DK Milly, though, grading out pretty well so far. The Poodle looks fantastic for me. Really, I think Poodle's going to be a big one. But this is what I think you want it to look like. If you're using a product, like it should give you results that look like this in the pre-testing, preseason part of things. So check it out. bestballchampion.com/splashplaypodcast.com. And the big perk there is that when you sign up, you're not only getting the Best Ball Champion for this last month of drafting season, you also get my MLB DFS tools and data. You'll get my NFL tools and data for as much as the season's available then. NBA as well. It's the same package year round for it because I want to keep you guys in year round for all the content I do. That's the goal at splashplaypodcast.com. So check it out for yourself. Again, links down in the description. You can see this little helpful graphic if you want to check it out too. All right, we're on the clock on DK. 2 more bursts of 2 picks, and we'll be done on here. Ricky Pearsall, nobody taken him accidentally yet. Troy Franklin coming up. Bateman coming up. We have stacking and week 17 correlation with Bateman, so let's do that. Not a very fun click, especially if Jacoby Lane ends up being anything, but he is a click. And then a third tight end here with K. Dotton available. I can live with that. K. Dotton, round 18, come on down. At least you're a legit starter. So we got Joe Burrow, Ashton Genty, and Saquon Barkley again. Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson with Sam Laporta, Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Love, Khalil Shakir, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Pacheco, Alvin Kamara, Dylan Sampson, Keyshawn Butte, Rashad Bateman, K. Dotton. Good volume at every position. 2-5-8-3 build. One more QB would have been nice. That's it. I'm happy with this team. I think at this point, if you're just trying to get as many entries in these drafts, you got to accept a few that are not going to be perfect in the way you want. Imagine not having 9 receivers yet you fish. It's true. I mean, when you also take 3 RBs to start, you definitely need to get more in at receiver. Let's look at Nolan's team here. OMG, look at me here. We got Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Jeremiah Love. Fun RB room. Definitely a lot of RB capital, though. McMillan, Evans, Tate, Sutton. Then we get the 2 QBs, Purdy and Nix. Gets tight end with Kittle, Ferguson. Coker is wide receiver 5. I'm familiar with this kind of build. Ferguson, Young. This has to be a BBC team, but it looks good. I mean, for the 3 RBs early, I think it looks as good as can be. Probably would have loved to have gotten 1 less RB, 1 more receiver here, I think would be how it looks. DJ Moore went at 31. The price difference on DK and Underdog is crazy. It's a fun team. Our guy Robert Griffin III in the 11 hole. Let's look at him. Lamb and Hampton, balanced start. Egbuka, Javante, very balanced. Parker Washington, Bucky, Chris Godwin. Nice little Tampa Bay correlation, and you got Baker. That's a nice team. I like that team a lot. Didn't read it all because you guys don't really need me to read it all, I don't think. That looks like your old teams, Robert Griffin III, but with the sim on top. So I think that makes sense to me. The boys building good teams here. Got Jake DeWitt in the 3 hole. I'm not going to look at yours. You're not a member. But I do appreciate it. I'm sure his team's good too. If you want to see it, here's Jake in the 3 hole. Receiver, receiver, receiver. Ooh, the lighted RB for me these days. It's not a bad team either. Got Ted Hurst. How could it be bad? Shout out to all you guys watching live. The dozens and dozens of more you'll watch after the fact as well. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button and subscribe here. Goes a long way for any content you enjoy on YouTube. But especially me, one guy doing the work as best I can. Of course, NFL. My focus has been distracted this entire NFL offseason with the MLB, with the NBA on our @SplashPlay Bets channel. But I still show up and do the work. I still follow everything to make sure I know what I'm talking about. I am not coming into the NFL season unprepared. I am all over the shit as much as anybody out there. My brain, I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it, guys, but I really don't know how to do it, but I do it as best I can for you guys. And that is always a promise here for any Splash Play content you watch. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, leave a comment if you're watching after the fact.
Of course, check out our presenting sponsor, Snap Stats. Of course, they're available to you right now at trysnap.ai, TRYSNAPP.ai. Promo code SplashPlay over there gets you your first month for $10. Any AI model you can get access to for $10. Take advantage of it. But really, they're a great company to be working with. I'm hoping I can work with them the rest of 2026, but I need you guys to sign up. So please do check it out. Trysnap.ai, link in the description, promo code SplashPlay. And nobody autoed on Pearsall in this draft. Shout out to this draft room. Smart guys here. We got, oh boy, this is fucking dire, man. I'm going to take another tight end. I think Eli Stowers is still a fun click for me, even though he's really not with the first team at all with Philadelphia, and that's not great. But I think they want to get rid of Goddard, so I'm going to go that way. And I really don't want to take Kareem Hunt, but I don't want a free agent RB who I think barely had a job last year. Khalil Herbert's hanging on by a thread. My God, a 20-round draft is such a disaster. I hate all these picks. Odell Beckham is with the starting group for the Giants. Let's do one share of Odell in round 20. Why not? Odell, come on down. God, what terrible. 19 and 20 are terrible. Joe Burrow, final team here on DK. Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley with Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Christian Watson. I feel like we went 2 RBs in the first 2 rounds. I think the receiver room landed despite that, especially for PPR. Sam Laporte is our tight end with Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Love, Khalil Shakir, Mark Andrews. We got Pacheco in here, Kamara, Sampson. Really don't even think we needed that many RBs with having Saquon and Genty, but still got to 5 in a 20-round draft. Rashad Bateman, Cade Otton, Eli Stowers, Odell Beckham, a 2-5-9-4 build. Not the usual here. Really would have liked to get the third QB no matter what. But everything else I can live with, guys. Get really one last plug for the Best Ball Champion tool. I'll show you guys actually the landing page real fast. Here you go. Every draft's a battle. Enter with a champion. ADP trajectory tracking, real-time exposure analysis, combinatorial ownership. I really tried to make this tool everything I wanted in a draft tool, along with frames of reference for data, my stats that I pull in, at EPA info for Sports Info Solutions. It's all in there. I tried to make it a tool that you could hop in, get a good last month of drafts in here with it, across Underdog, across DraftKings. But check it out for yourself. The tool updates as well. If I make an update, you get it in real time. I think it's the best thing I've built. I mean, I love my DFS stuff. I think MLB DFS in particular, the portfolio builder tool, really excited about having hopefully for NFL and NBA from the start of the season. But I built a lot of shit this year, with Claude on my site at splashplaypodcast.com, the best ball champion. I mean, I even say it on my MLB streams. I'm the most proud of this tool. I think if something's going to win people a lot of money this year, and we've had MLB, and NBA guys winning 50K, 100K, I think the Best Ball Champions tool that'll do it. So if you believe in what I'm doing, check it out, bestballchampion.com or splashplaypodcast.com/join, both of which will take you. It's kind of the same destination there, give you the same membership, but really do check it out if you can. Support the show, support yourself, and then getting in good entries in this last month of drafts. It's the best you could do. Presenting sponsor, Snap Stats, check them out. These are really the 2 plugs I have at this point, but really support them as well. $10 for your first month over at trysnap.ai. And really at this point, if you're just making a leap of faith for me, honestly, if you sign up and you say, hey, I did it just for you, Spags, I want a favor from you, DM me, let me know. I will legit show you guys some love back. It's not gonna be anything porny. But I will do something for you in return if you sign up, because I really think it's important for you guys to get in there. And I want to keep them as a sponsor, because I'll tell you what, if I want to keep growing things, sponsors like them help things a lot here on the channel. So check them out, trysnap.ai. Great company. I only work with companies I trust and I actually want you guys to use, and they are one of them. They use AI as a wrapper, but it's a sports betting fantasy tool, all in one, everything you possibly want from AI for sports and betting and fantasy. It's going to be available to you at Snap Stats. So try snap.ai, promo code SplashPlay. Check it out for yourself. Make sure to gamble responsibly, guys, even though it is always money time on this channel. Like and subscribe as well. You know the deal here. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the channel at SplashPlayPod. At some point, I'm going to get the Twitter up and running again. Probably not going to put videos on there anymore because I don't really see the value in giving Twitter free content at this point. I don't want to pay for a verified check mark just to give somebody free content. So I'm going to put out an auto tweet thing at some point where you'll get the videos again for this channel and the at SplashPlayBets channel. That's coming soon, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging with me here. Shouts to guys, the super chats, Robert Griff the Turd. Appreciate that a bunch here. And all you guys who draft with me as well. Thanks for hanging out. And don't forget, don't draft chunkies, guys. But I'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy your days. Good luck. Back next week with more, I am sure. And if not, well, no, not if not. Enjoy your days. Good luck. Bye-bye. Catch you later.